Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
It's Wednesday. This is the EST Hangout presented by Hoots Hard Ice Tea. A bolder, real brew tea. Don't just give a hoot, give two. Matt Iwanyk, Quinn Phillips, Shawn Belle with you here on EdmontonSportsTalk.com, tune in iHeartRadio, as well as those watching on YouTube. How you guys doing today?
What an absolute dream team. Just got to say it.
100%.
I've been on fire for the last 15 minutes that you've been here.
Me?
There's been a lot.
I came with a lot of energy and but then also a lot of anxiety listening to your Vegas stories. So I'm now just really worked up. There's a lot of things happening in my body.
Yeah, no, that
great team. This really is.
That is 100% true.
Go enjoy Oilers
Tommy.
practice when nothing happens. You're going to miss out on 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
How was Vegas, Belzy?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was quite the trip. I'm not going to lie. Started off hot. Started off Wednesday, where I had some chicken wings that weren't completely done. So I got food poisoning. So obviously food poisoning doesn't do anything good for anybody's body. Thursday.
Even a well-oiled machine like this.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Thursday, I was still obviously feeling terrible. And we had to be at the airport for, I think it was 3. We were actually leaving at 3. So I had to be there for 2:45. We were on the PJ.
Oh, the PJ.
Yeah, they didn't have.
Right.
They're not. They didn't go through the.
We didn't go through the normal side.
I was like, you can't get through security in 15
that's
minutes.
A lie, Shawn.
Yeah. Got it.
So anyway,
the PJ.
I decided to be there early, but I went and had chicken noodle soup at around 2:15 because obviously trying to get some salt back in the body. Roll in at 2:30. Get on the plane. The car's still on the tarmac. Walk up. One of my owners is like, yeah, I just left the passport office. Man, thank God I could be here. And I just stared at him. Didn't say a word. Turned right around. Walked right back to my vehicle. Hightailed it out of there. And made it back to my house somehow in 15 minutes to get my passport. And so then I had to obviously turn back around. Flew back to the airport. Right back onto the tarmac. Throw my keys to the guy, rip onto the airplane, and that's how we started this whole trip. So,
food poisoning and forgot your passport.
Forgot my passport,
no passport,
and then once we got in the air, it was like nonstop, full throttle drinks.
And I'm sure your body was ready for it after purging for 24 hours.
Yeah.
It was just making
Lack
room.
of hydration.
Yeah.
100%.
That really is going to go well.
One drink and you're off the edge.
Oh, I was done.
Yeah.
And then we got the one guy who he'd never been on a boys trip in his life. And he was flooring
And he was
it.
on a PJ to start.
And he was on the PJ to start. And he floored it. He's been on work trips and all that stuff. He's been away, but he said he's never been on a true guys trip. And so usually that happens. Okay, well, let's get into the shots. We just left Edmonton. Why do we need shots right now? We're doing shots. Oh, okay.
You're sure.
You're going to Vegas.
Okay, we're going to Vegas, but
It's not a work trip.
it's not a
fun
work trip. It's usually the guy that does that. Hey, has never been on a trip that usually decides to floor it and then doesn't show up the rest of the day. That's what happened to that guy.
Yeah, because he's not prepared and
we were trying
overdoes it.
Yeah, we were trying to watch the Oilers game, and he's got the one-eyed text going. He's he's pushing buttons like this. I'm like, oh my God. It was only 8:30 at that point.
Oh, no.
I told you not to floor it.
He's just so excited.
Well, he got
he's
a
just
good
ready
sleep.
to go.
He got a good sleep, right?
That's the best
Great
part of day
sleep.
drinking.
Yeah.
Great sleep.
But was he good the rest of the trip?
Yeah, he was calling guys out the rest of the trip.
Oh,
That's a bold play.
What do you mean calling guys
He was
out?
calling like, oh, good job, you showed up today.
Oh no, you can't
That's
do
a-
that.
a
When you're
bold
out,
play, Cotton.
when you're the first one out.
That's what
on
I said.
night one, you are
And
not
actually,
allowed to say anything the rest of
Thursday
the trip.
and Friday, he was probably the first guy out.
No.
Yeah. And so then I remember on Sunday, he called me out. He's like, good job. You were out for 12 hours. I'm like, 12 hours? I'm like, I went to bed at 1. And he's like, yeah, but it's 12 now. So I'm like, you know what, man? I don't even need this energy in my life. Like, get out of here. I'm still dealing with food poisoning because usually when you don't eat and you just drink, it doesn't help.
Wow.
That is bold. Yeah.
It was very bold.
To be the guy that calls people out when you're the one that's not staying up.
Yeah.
Not a
He
good
stayed
one.
up for one night and now all of a sudden he's excited.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
not a
he's
good
fired up. He made it through the whole night. I was also in Vegas, but I didn't actually, you know what? I forgot. I was in a wedding. I forgot my jewelry.
Oh.
This was like a few weeks ago. That's annoying as a woman.
Yep.
I didn't forget my skates on a boys' hockey
Oh,
trip, Sean.
you're gonna keep oh, okay, man.
No,
Okay.
we're exposing you for who you are today.
He had food
Well,
poisoning.
I was in shambles.
food
I was
poisoning.
in shambles
Forgot his
on
passport
Thursday.
and his skates.
And my gloves.
Well, do you need your gloves?
Luckily,
For a hockey trip.
for hockey, yeah, you do. I didn't bring my shoulder pads either, but I haven't worn those in 10 years. Yeah, I had to go use rental skates, and they were like wearing a used shoe, like a shoe you've had for probably, I don't know, 15 years. And you're like, this is my favorite shoe, but it's like really loose on your foot. Same thing. That's the same amount of support.
How'd you play?
Oh, I was awful.
I was hoping you maybe overcame it.
No. Like, usually at a skate, you have the ability to push through whatever you need to do. I couldn't push. I couldn't stride in those skates because they were just giving out. And they were dull. So I couldn't turn the one way. So, you know, when you watch like public skaters and you see guys that are like turning on like the smallest of an edge because they're trying not to fall, that was literally me.
A former NHLer.
I looked like I was wearing rollerblades on the ice.
People
And you were like
walking by.
Zoolander. You could only turn
Exactly.
left.
I
or-
could only turn left.
People trying to tell me, well, that guy used to play in the NHL. Oh, I'm sure he did. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I really believe
You're like,
that.
this guy got that equipment at a sale. Yeah, you're right. Actually, I did.
So what'd you do with the jewelry? Did you just go buy some?
Yeah, I had to go buy some, and I bought a necklace that I bought these earrings actually, which I was pretty
Okay, so
stoked
there you
on.
go.
Yeah,
worked
these were definitely the best purchase. I bought these. I bought this necklace. I got like I mean, you know how you are in Vegas. You're not 100% ever.
So you loved
Like-
it there, but then you looked at it later and went,
I don't even think I liked it at the store, but I was just like, I don't care. I've got to just get a necklace. And so I bought it. And then, it was a disappointment. You know what? The whole trip was ruined. And then I forgot to put lipstick on before we started. So
that's the best. We're literally about to press play on the show, and she goes, I forgot lipstick. Okay. I don't think a single person would realize.
No.
yeah. And like your mouth is mostly covered by a microphone. Oh, well.
But she forgot lipstick. Maybe so. Do you want me to go get the boys to go get you some? I'll send the boys to go bring some.
Yeah. Could they actually go to Shoppers? And I'd love to see what they'd pick out.
Send Zach to come.
Oh my God. This sounds like a really good task for him. This is workplace bullying. There's a lot of things happening here.
I'll give him the money for it. Was Shoppers the place, or is there a better place?
Oh man, he could go anywhere. I'd love to just
You
see what
should
he'd
send
come
him into
back
Mac.
with.
No, I'm not. Well, did you guys?
That would be the
What
place
is
to
the
send
story
him.
of Dusty, if I can remember? When he was first starting this TV stuff, our boss of the old place, like the big boss, she was in charge of TV and radio. She tried helping Dusty with, suits and makeup and stuff, and told him, like, go talk to Daryl McIntyre to learn how to apply it on. But go to the store and you need to get it and get them to match it to your face and all this stuff. So she then one day was asking Dusty about how did it go, like with Daryl McIntyre teaching. He's like, yeah, it was good. But Daryl said it kind of looks a little light on you. And Dust's like, yes, I don't know what to do. And she's like, did you ask him to match it to your face? And he's like, no, I was too scared.
I was too scared.
And she's just like, well, no, I told you to do that, though. And she got mad. She's like, I told you. They have to match it to your face. This is the one to get, but match it to your face.
Well, and I love those situations because he's like, I was too scared. Did you think you looked cooler just buying makeup without
it'd be fine.
asking?
He
So
thought
it
it'd
was
be
way
fun.
lighter than his face.
Or
so he
something
looked
like that.
He looked like
Oh,
Castor
man.
from the
The
Ghost.
stories that I have of him going to his first Spengler Cup are unreal. There were some amazing things that happened. Also, he got an award from Belle for, him and Eric, but he's the only one that got the official award. They didn't add Eric to it at all. The Apollo Creed Memorial Tournament that they did, which was a big
yeah.
summer bracket,
Yeah.
Dusty won a Belle Award for that.
Seriously.
Yes, he was flown out to Toronto for this massive luncheon, and he was sitting next to like one of the biggest bosses of Bell Media.
Come on.
100%. There's other people that have done all these crazy things, and he created the Apollo Creed Memorial Tournament. But then me and Dave,
And won.
and he was one of the winners. But
That's
then me
great.
and Dave and that boss were in my office. Dusty came in, and we're like, "What was there to eat?" And he was trying to explain what there was to eat, and there was salmon and this and asparagus and stuff. He's like, "But I just had the asparagus." And we're like, "Why'd you just have the asparagus?" And he's like, "I don't know how to. Like, I don't really like anything else." So I was like, "Well, why didn't you have the salmon?" And he's like, "I didn't know how to eat it." And the face of my boss, she was standing behind him, was of just like the most confused I've ever seen her. She's just like, and we're like, "What do you mean you don't know how to eat it?" He's like, "I don't know how to eat salmon." We're like, "A knife and a fork, dude. It's not hard." He just,
Was he worried about the skin or something? I don't get it.
it was
Oh
one of
my
my
God,
favorite
that's
moments
really
because we just
adorable,
died
though.
laughing.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, I don't know how
All
to
you
eat
gotta do
salmon.
is stick a fork in it.
Yeah.
The knife.
Maybe turn it.
You
You
don't
don't
even
even
need a
you
knife.
know.
If it's well
properly,
cooked.
It'll just come off.
Yeah. Should be cooked properly at a luncheon.
But yeah, the boss was behind him, and just her face. I'll never
man.
forget it because it was like, what? Excuse me?
I can understand that if you're like in a foreign country and like there's
man.
some like crazy food that gets put in front of you, like, and
Yeah.
you're like, do I eat this with my hands? Like, what do I like? Salmon.
But salmon is
Pretty
universal.
standard. Pretty standard.
What else can there's one other story.
That is gold right there.
He had a photo shoot. I'm just telling stories about Dusty now. He's
Yeah.
not listening.
2 hours of Dusty stories.
He was having to apply something around his eye or whatever it was. I can't remember what it was. But,
Yeah, concealer probably,
Maybe
or
that foundation, whatever it
under
was.
eye, yeah.
And he's like, I have a tough time doing it. Like, it's hard to do it or something. And she's like, why? Like, show me. And like, he'd like try to like move like with his eyes or something and try to get like his eyelid down or something like that. And she's like, why don't you just close your eyes? And he's like, oh, I guess I could do that. And he was trying to put this on, not get it in his eye, but then just didn't realize that if you just close your eye.
Yeah, just lightly close it and everything will be fine.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
That is
completely fair.
fantastic.
We should get him to try. Like now, I would just want to test him with makeup. Like I should get him to try to put like mascara or like eyeliner on sometime.
Why would we do that?
Or should we get some weird food and see what he does, like how he eats it?
Yeah.
Well, he
That's the
won't
play.
eat
Yeah.
some of the
That's
things
the
though.
play.
No, of course he won't.
He's too scared of a lot of the things.
He does have a baby tooth, like a baby mouth,
Yeah, I've always like his kids are going to teach him about
an
like,
immature palate.
that's a good way of putting it.
That's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
You know, his kids will teach him about food. Like when they get older and they try different things, they'll be like, Dad, try this.
Yeah, and I hope they do try it because I had my parents were both good cooks, but they were like they don't like spice. My dad like is like horrified by spice. Like thinks that it will kill him, I'm pretty sure. And then like my mom is like, "Oh, I'm starting to get used to spice," and then like has the smallest amount of spice and is like, "No." My brother sweats. He's watching. Devin, sorry, you sweat. But I love
He sweats
spice.
when he eats spice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My parents, they think everything's spicy.
Oh,
And me
yeah.
and my
Like my
brother will
dad
have
thinks
a bite
pepper is
and
spicy.
we're like,
There's nothing in here.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I know. My mom's like, "Oh, there's a bit of kick in that." I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" So,
Are you
but
not
I
good with
was-
spice?
I love spice.
I
Oh,
love
okay.
spice. Yeah, but I got adventurous with food, which I'm very thankful for. Like, yeah, I'll try anything.
I remember being at Heritage Days with a couple buddies, and I'm going to name one of them, Corey Rutt. And I didn't know that he wasn't good with spice, and so we went to the Jamaican tent. We had a Jamaican patty, and like for me, I think a Jamaican patty is not spicy, like at all. Apparently, for him, he thought it was like hell on earth because he was in a full sweat. It was pouring from his head. And I'm like, "Do you like it?" He's like, "Oh man, it's so good." I'm like, "Why are you sweating?" He's like, "I can't eat it. It's too spicy."
Oh my gosh.
That was the first and last he's ever tried. He's like, "I won't eat that. Too spicy."
Did he
Like,
think it tasted good though? Like, I mean,
well,
Jamaican
outside
patties
of-
are
yeah.
like mwah, the greatest things on earth.
They're so
and
good.
Not spicy at all.
There's a Jamaican food truck that's on 124th now.
Really?
like in one of those little markets that they have.
Oh, in the
that are now
Grand
back for the
Market?
spring, from the summer and
Yeah.
stuff. And there's like a fish and chip, and I've just seen like a Jamaican Delight, I think it's called.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
Like, I need to go stop at that food
Yeah.
truck on the
Oh
way home.
yeah, it's the classic. Like they always had, like at Folk Fest, that's an absolute must do.
must, for
Is
sure.
like get as many Jamaican patties during the weekend as you can.
Yeah. Just don't bring Corey with you because,
Well, he won't survive it.
no, he won't.
But that means more for you.
Paul
guessing
Gazzola
to buy
also
one.
cannot handle spice.
No?
Tommy's brother, no. Actually, okay, this is one of my favorite stories. This didn't have
Before
to
you
do
get
with
into that,
spice. Oh yeah, sorry.
your brother Devin is in the nasty chat saying, sweating listening to this chat.
Thanks for piping in, Dev.
Paulie story.
Yeah. Okay. So it was right after Gord Downey had passed, and we were talking to some of the players about just their memories of Tragically Hip, and we were talking to Milan Lucic, and it was warm, and Paul was literally dripping sweat holding the microphone in the scrum, and I'm across from him, and I am literally just keeping it together. And of course it's like a sensitive subject that we're talking to the guys about, right? And I'm like, I just keep like looking away from him because like it's pouring off of his face. And of course, Reed Wilkins can see that I'm in like a dark place, like trying to hold it together. And do you want to know what he does? He looks at me and he goes, "Why is Paul so wet?" And I absolutely lose it. And I'm sure you can see in the scrum, my microphone is shaking because I am laughing so hard. And it was Milan Lucic, I'll never forget. And he just kind of like looked at me briefly and I was like, "Oh no, I'm sorry." Like, I
Do you not see this dude?
It's a tragic
Do you
loss.
see
Look at the guy beside me.
It's Paul. Look at him. He's so wet. Like, not even the word wet just like set me off. Reed Wilkins is just something else. God, I love that guy. But yeah,
he's just got this
why
dry
is
humor.
Paul
Yeah.
so wet? And then I've seen him sweat that much when he's eating spicy foods. So
Well, yeah, he's going to sweat there. I'm
Yeah,
assuming he's going to
he's
sweat
gonna
with the
definitely
spicy
sweat.
food.
Well, I sweat a lot though. I am a sweaty lady. Yeah. I feel like you've seen me at the gym, haven't you?
No, we used to run into each other all the time at the Glenora stairs. Like
Yeah.
we wouldn't see each other for a full year, and then every single time it'd be like, "Oh, there's a Glenora
There she
stairs. Yeah,
is.
there she is. Hey, how's it going?"
And I would probably be like literally drenched in
And
sweat.
you'd be
My
like,
friend,
"Don't look at me. I'm running."
oh my God. And
See,
like
Quinn?
everybody at the gym is like, "Oh, are you just getting started?" And they'll just stare at the ring of sweat around me. My workout partner says that it looks like I've had a shower. Like, so like I can really empathize with like everybody who sweats a lot. I actually went on a date. Matt, are you gonna be okay?
Yes, I'm just loving where this is all going.
Yeah. I went on a first date and it was like 32 degrees out, and this moron that is me wore black and walked to the driving range. I was pouring, and it was like under my hair because my hair was down, and so like the back of and girls know it. Eric knows it too. Like it gets really hot under there, so I'm like pouring sweat. Like if I was wearing brown, I would have looked like a takeout chicken bag, like fried chicken bag. And it was just horrifying. And so then we like get through that part, and then he wants to keep hanging out, and all I'm thinking is like, I just want to get out of here. Like of all things, my calves, like
Well, at least he keeps one hanging out.
Yeah.
Right
that's-
up there
that's
wasn't
good.
like a let's end this quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, let's
Well,
get
that
this
was the
bucket.
only date we went on,
clearly-
okay? So he obviously just wanted ice cream or felt bad for me and was like, maybe I'll just get her ice cream and
I'm
that'll
gonna
cool
help
her
her
off.
stop
hot.
sweating.
So hot.
So we're
To get her
sitting-
ice cream.
Let's go for a slush, please.
We're sitting eating ice cream, and all I can see is literally like sweat pouring down the front of my legs, because for some reason that is one of the sweatiest things. My face and my legs sweat the most. So
this is
yeah, so
glorious.
like summer is like it's a tough time of year for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
My
you're not-
brother
you're not
again. My brother is the exact same way. So of course he's sweating right now, and he's gonna start worrying about me sweating because we have to talk each other off the ledge when we get too hot. Like he's like, Quinn, you just got to regulate. Like you just got to take a deep breath, and you just got to get comfortable with it. Like when we're hot in somewhere, my brother talks me off the ledge.
Oh, this is great. This is great. This is
Eric does
great.
say neck sweat. No joke.
It's no joke. It's horrible under your hair. And then like you think you can get it, like your hair absorbs it a little, but then like if it starts to go through, like that's why I got to grow my hair out for the summer, because like when it's short and it sits there, then the ends get all curly because it's like wet.
Yeah.
But having it longer, doesn't that make it more hot?
Yeah, but at least like it doesn't, like the ends don't get all curly because it's like sitting in a pool of sweat.
And it hides it more.
It hides it
Yeah,
more.
but you get hotter.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's okay.
you know
if you're
what? I don't-
sweating, if you're sweating and nobody knows, it's okay.
Yeah.
That's why people wear black all the time, because you're still sweating, but it doesn't show through.
I cannot wear gray to the gym.
Like, could you
I
imagine wearing like a
cannot.
baby blue?
Oh no,
And
I
that thing
can't.
just turns dark blue?
Yeah. Oh, I wear like I've made the mistake of buying shirts that I really like, and then I wear them, and I'm like, I can't wear this. It's white or black.
I made that mistake once, and I was playing in Houston at the time. And so I just got traded from, Minnesota to Dallas, or Dallas to Minnesota, whatever it was. But anyway, I was in Houston. I had a tan suit. And with blue, it was like a nice blue shirt.
Oh no.
And what I didn't
I'm
realize,
nervous for you.
yeah, what I didn't realize was that after you play a game in the Toyota Center, you have to like take some time to relax and just like body needs to regulate. I didn't let it regulate. I got right in the shower. It was like, boys, we're going out. I got right in the shower. It was hot still. Wore my suit. I felt kind of comfortable leaving. And then we sat outside. In Houston in, I think it was like March, April-ish. It's hot. It's humid. It's muggy. And like instantaneously sweating through my suit. Not through my shirt, through my suit. Like uncomfortably sweating through my suit. And the guys are like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Whoops. Whoops. Like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. And I'm like,
I took some weird pill. I don't know.
Sean's
they're
just
like,
all
you
wet.
need to go home. I'm like soaked all the way through. Like it was all right here because it's like you're holding your drink like this.
Yeah.
And so there's just a pool of like wet here.
Yeah.
And then obviously the underarms and like just the front, it was all coming down.
Was your face okay? Because my face would have just been.
My face was like leaking, like pouring. And I'm just like trying to like do this all the time.
Just keep wiping.
It's the worst thing that I've ever experienced.
Well,
So,
that's how I live my
that's
life.
fully how I feel. Yeah.
Like it's really actually
Just my
kind of
life.
like you're just talking about my life. Like it is difficult being this hot all the time.
It's
like
really
temperature
uncomfortable.
You
hot.
could
Like
not live in
listen,
another city.
No.
full
Oh, no,
time.
no. I would
you're
never
not,
move somewhere
You're not gonna live
tropical.
in Phoenix all of a sudden.
when I went to Lollapalooza in Chicago, it's very warm there and very humid. And my friend's cousin said that I was the sweatiest woman he's ever seen in his entire life. And I don't think he meant woman. I think he meant human. Like, I get super fascinated when athletes are like don't sweat. Like, I'm like, there's something wrong with you. And I was
Well,
a
Roger
swimmer.
Federer, as he's going through 5 sets at the Wimbledon, not a
And
single
fine.
Not even a single
dropping.
drop. Like he's not even trying.
I'd play like 1 point and I'd start sweating. I'd also be really nervous. So then I'd sweat more. But
And then I'd start thinking about how much I'm sweating, and I'd sweat even more.
well, that's exactly the problem. Like,
it just compounds.
that's why you literally have to regulate. You have to
What's
regulate
that
your
saying?
brain too.
I'm sweating because I'm nervous, and I'm nervous because I'm sweating.
Yeah. I mean, I should get that
Quinn's life.
tattooed on my body.
That's gonna be a shirt we need to get her.
100%.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like it's just tough. Like it's a hard life
Yeah.
to live, man.
Yeah.
Because like you just always look a little bit insane. And my brother said this is oddly 100% accurate. I have a very vivid memory of him and I sitting
is so
at an
good.
event, and I was like, Devin, I'm freaking out. I'm really hot and I'm sweating a lot. He's like, I know, me too. But you just got to take some deep breaths and regulate. Like we literally had to talk each other off the ledge. That actually
Does the
happened.
deep breathing
I'm
work?
learning a lot today.
Yeah.
I have never learned the struggles of that much sweating.
Oh,
I-
gosh.
Does deep breathing work?
Well, yeah, it's like anything. It's like just center, like because like when your thoughts are consumed by sweating, then so it's just like you're
It's just an
you're
endless
grounding
switch.
yourself,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like it does actually. Like you just have to like let go, and I'm really good at just letting go now. Like as soon as I start sweating, I'm like, well, there it is, and like whatever.
Well, you've been very open about it on the Hangout today. So.
Well, anybody who sees me over the summer on a hot day is going to be like, oh God, she wasn't lying. But then also I talk about it too much. Like we're on what now? Like 20 minutes?
Anyone's gonna want like that runs into this summer's gonna be like, Quinn, you sweating?
Yeah.
Hey, Quinn, hey, you
Oh,
sweating?
there she is. There she is. Yeah.
Oh, that is so good.
It's something I really have to think about, like at events and like what I'm gonna wear and stuff like it's a real thing for me. Anyways,
The struggle.
should we change the subject?
We should get a support group for this going.
I guarantee there's more
There's
ladies out there like me.
Yeah, there's
Paulie will
probably
jump in on that
plenty of people out there like
I was
that.
gonna say because I was a swimmer growing up, so I didn't know. So then when I started
'cause you
doing
just
things
sw-
out, like
you
you
just
went
sweat
into the
in the pool,
water,
you're just wet.
right? And
Yeah.
so then like once I was finished swimming,
Water
I was
keeps you
like,
regulated.
turns out some places are too hot. So
The water.
yeah. And then some are way too cold. Regina had the coldest pool.
I don't have good things to say about Regina. Awful city.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Boring.
I got nothing.
Boring as hell. Nothing to do.
No.
You go see a Riders game and get the hell out of there.
Yeah, or just don't go.
Well, the Riders game is a fun time.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I went
like,
to
the experience
the
of going to a Rider game and then coming back. Like it actually is fun.
But then you have to go to Saskatchewan.
well, I lived
You know,
in Yorkton.
Saskatchewan's not bad.
I was
I've been to
drafted by
Saskatoon.
Regina, so like I get it. I've been to a few
Yeah, but
places
you're-
there. Like,
Lieutenant Eric will take you to Saskatoon and show you all the spots.
Saskatoon is a,
He'll show you the
great
spots
little
you don't
city.
know about.
Yeah.
no, I'm good.
I lived in Yorkton, Saskatchewan. That was my first on-air TV job.
Really?
Yep, CTV Yorkton. Made a lot of mistakes there. It was pretty awesome. Partied a lot there.
In York.
As you would do.
as you
What's
would
the
do.
party
Yeah,
in
what is
Yorkton?
the
Is that a
spot? Yeah.
house party or is that a?
No,
is that
you
bars?
guys, this is the greatest thing. There was a bar called Holly's, and it was attached to the Holiday Inn, Holly's Holiday Inn. And this is when the Chingy song was famous. Gonna party at the Holiday Inn.
Yes.
And so, like, I was literally living the song. It was the greatest. I had so much fun there. I absolutely loved Yorkton. Went to Regina. I actually went to the 03, would have been the 03 Grey Cup or 04 Grey Cup? 03 Grey Cup. Yeah.
Eskimos at the time won.
Yeah.
Beat the Owls.
Beat the Owls. Yeah. And I went to, so that was my
It was
only,
a very cold one.
it was, I
J-Mo
wore
told me stories of that one.
Pumas. Like an idiot. I wore running shoes.
Oh boy.
I don't want to talk about it.
I kind of
you
want
wore-
to
I
hear
certainly
it.
wasn't
When it's
sweating.
when it's too hot outside, you wear black and you just do too much.
Yeah.
And then when it's cold outside, you don't wear enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Like absolute, just complete window liquor. Like just no.
Oh.
But Saskatoon is a great time.
Yes, it
would say
is.
that.
I've actually
It is a
I've
fun
spent
city.
some time in Saskatoon, Regina.
I would go to Saskatoon anytime to party a little bit.
The only place
I will
that I
not go to
don't
Regina
actually
except to
like
go to a Riders
in
game.
Saskatchewan is Cairnport.
Don't
I
know
had
what
to
that
spend
is.
way too much time in Cairnport because obviously at Nate we played against Briarcrest, so we had to spend a couple days there. Cairnport's the size of this this studio. There's one restaurant, and that's at the gas station. One hotel. So I actually take that back. I like Saskatchewan. I got a lot of buddies in Saskatchewan.
You just have like PTSD from Cairnport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the little brother of Alberta. You know, they're just there.
Yeah. Honestly, though, I had so much fun when I lived there. I did so many things that I never thought I'd do. Like I went ice fishing. Should I tell the story about how stupid I am?
Yep.
Should I continue this
Yeah, no, I
down
don't-
this
yeah, you
path?
can't
I
just-
don't know
you
the
can't just
story. I
open
don't know
one
where the
bag
story's
and
gonna
then not
go,
do it.
so I'll say sure.
We were catching jackfish, and I wanted to be like the big, strong girl because I was like with a whole bunch of guys, and I was like, no, I want to take the hook out of its mouth, and I couldn't get it out, so I stick my finger in the jackfish's mouth. Okay, and it clamps down, and I go, oh my god, and I pull my finger out, and my finger's frozen because we're obviously ice fishing and I probably didn't wear gloves because you know me. Anyways, so, and I'm like, and everybody's like, oh my God, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, it's not like it has teeth or anything. Jackfish. Anyway, so I go into the shed, and as I'm like starting to thaw, I hear one of the guys go, where is all this blood coming from? And my finger is now thawing, and I look down, and it is literally shredded by the teeth of the jackfish as I pulled it out of its mouth. Oh yeah, like shred marks on a fish that doesn't have teeth. But you know what? I learned a really good lesson
Yes,
that
you did.
jackfish have teeth
Yeah.
and don't stick your finger in their mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, El Presidente, never put finger in mouth of a fish like a jack or a walleye. So
Yeah.
no one gave you that heads up prior.
No.
You know
They did
what?
not.
Somebody could have probably given
They
me
could have
that
helped
tip
you.
before I did that. You know
Yeah.
what? Now I'm mad at the guys I was with.
Yeah, you should be.
What absolute dirtbags.
Well, they should give you that heads. Like if you've never gone fishing before, I think there's a couple of things. Don't put the finger in the fish's mouth.
yeah, like wiggle, like get the hook out. Yeah. So I did things like that. Like I shot a hunting rifle. Like I would never do that now. I think about it all the time and I'm horrified that I was
Did you
shooting
actually
at
shoot
animals.
something? Did you get it?
That's a yes.
So that's a yes.
That's a yes.
Okay, let's change the subject now.
This is the EST Hangout presented by Two Hoots Hard Ice Tea. Matt Iwanyk, Quinn Phillips, Shawn Belle with you here. I don't even know how to transition out of this entire conversation. What are you laughing
I
at?
just think you just need to let it buck, buddy. Just let this thing go.
You just gotta
she's gonna
regulate.
cry right away.
Don't
just
even
gotta
fight
regulate.
this. Yeah, don't fight it. Just regulate. Just let it buck.
Do you guys want to talk a little Oilers?
Of course.
Let's get into a
Sure.
little bit of the Oilers. This is Hangout Headlines brought to you by the Ranch Golf and Country Club. Premier conditions, top-notch service, unmatched value. The place you want to go if you're going to golf this season. TheRanchGolf.com to book your tee time. Have you gone golfing much this year yet, Quinn?
I've only been out once for 9. That's awful. And I
haven't
played
gone.
terribly. I kept slicing the ball, so I got to get
Where'd you
back
go?
out there. Just Victoria.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a nice
so,
little
well,
shaking off the rust.
shaking
It's a
off
great
the
course for
rust.
that.
Didn't
Yeah.
lose a ball. You know,
It's
like
impossible.
didn't hit a fairway, but also didn't hit the ball. Well, not hit a fairway. I shouldn't. Be
Unless
that
you put
awful.
a ball on River Valley Road, you shouldn't lose a ball at Vic.
No, absolute. No, there's
It's too open.
That's fair.
basically yeah. Well, Riverside, different story. My favorite course.
I really like Riverside.
I love
Yeah.
Riverside so much. You have to be pretty straight there. Yeah, I almost actually killed a man though. Like he was like, because he was coming to his ball and he's like, oh, I'll just hide behind this tree. And the whole time I was thinking, I don't want him there. I don't want him there. And I hit it through the tree and I missed
Nice
him.
work.
I just missed him. But I was like, I should
it
have
was in
gone
your mind.
over
It
the
was,
tree.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly it. It's
It's
your
his
entire
fault.
swing
Yeah.
thought.
That's
I
that's
should've
why you
told
tell
him
him
to
next time
move.
move.
He
Otherwise,
was
I will hit you.
Oh man, he was probably in his late 60s, early 70s. Like I don't want to know what that would have done.
Oh, so you might have killed someone like
Oh,
completely.
yeah.
Yeah.
He would've
like
been-
I
he
wasn't
would've been
lying when
done.
I said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
I
one's
mean-
golfed a lot here. Murray has
No.
golfed a lot.
Well,
obviously.
the weather hasn't
Dusty
been
hasn't gone.
been
but Rob was
super
rather
ideal.
easy.
Yeah.
Like hasn't been great.
I need to get to just the driving range.
I haven't even done that.
No, I
That's
haven't
all I
gone to
can
the
do right
driving
now.
range.
Yeah.
You're still
On the mend. It's still work. It's still progress. I got to first start with the slowly build it back up.
right. Yeah.
you gotta
No,
get
that's
ready, though,
completely
buddy.
fair.
Get ready for what?
July 9.
July 9th.
I'm not golfing.
Oh.
What?
Somebody's got to run the tournament.
Ugh.
If every single one of you are
Let Tommy
playing,
do it.
If all of you guys are playing, there's one
Let
person.
Tommy run the tournament.
There's got to be one responsible adult there who's running the tournament.
Yeah, fair
Oh,
enough.
you need a responsible adult? Definitely can't be Tommy.
Yeah, it's not Tom.
Yeah, no. So like, yeah.
No, you're
There's
you're
a really
right.
good chance, as long as we have EST Golf Classics, I will never golf in them. Until I get to like a point where
You can hire
I get
somebody.
like a marketing team and be like, hey, that's on you now. I'm golfing.
That's
Yeah.
tough,
I'm
okay
Matty.
with
That's tough, Matty. You want to
okay.
switch off at 9?
No, I'm good.
I promise I won't be too banged up.
Because well, the thing is, again, I got to watch things, and what I'll do is if things are running well,
Like your buddy in Vegas,
Yeah,
right?
100%. Yeah.
I'll head to
Yeah.
the driving range. I'll just hit some balls,
Yeah, that's
enjoy
true.
myself, drive around, make sure everyone else is having. I want to make sure everyone else is having a great time.
Just make sure you have like a cart full of the birdie booze.
Well, whoever's playing with me better hope it's not too warm that day.
Didn't even think of that. That's gonna be a plus 38 day.
Oh, I hope so.
Just Quinn's gonna bring multiple.
I'm gonna bring my
outfit
light
changes.
purple just to really accentuate my moisture.
She's gonna come in for the lunch dinner at the end and just be drenched.
You should ask me to MC. Be up there, just uncomfortable.
Oh, now I'm really looking forward to the golf tournament just that much more. Just
That's
I
so
really
good.
hope it's a hot day,
Yeah.
like this super hot day, with just a little bit of humidity in the air.
Oh God.
Just a little bit, just
to
to spice things up.
get get things really going.
It'll be something.
July 9th, EST Golf Classic. I'm in my waiting list. I think I'm starting to go through my waiting list a little bit more. Just need a couple more holes filled. If anyone has a business that would like to potentially take on a hole, reach out to me, Matt at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Team that's not golfing yet is the Edmonton Oilers. They've got the Western Conference Finals.
Oh,
How do you
man.
guys feel?
Before we get into this, can I have 2 hoots?
Of course. Quinn, would you like the 2 hoots?
Well, yeah, I've never had one. Oh, a warm 2 hoots.
No, it's cold.
Oh, it's cold.
I put it in the
When?
fridge.
You mix it with your coffee?
No, I drank all my coffee.
Wow. There's a residual in there.
It adds a little bit of character to it.
When? Oh, I don't know. I can't tell. I can't see.
You saw like how much was getting.
Well, I am working later.
But this goes into the fridge
What
after
time, is,
the
boss.
show.
what time is later?
Hey, boss. Well, right after.
Oh, well, cheers.
Is your boss really listening?
No.
No,
Yeah, okay, so you're good.
we have no idea what's going on.
That goes in the fridge at the end of the Hangouts, and it comes back out at the start of the Hangouts, so it stays cool.
My friend Claire on the Bits podcast. Oh, wow. That's really good.
See?
Oh, that's alarmingly
Is
good.
the fastest growing
boy.
tea in Canada.
Yeah, it's really
what
good.
I definitely didn't get enough.
We could bring that
Yeah,
back,
you
though.
wanna-
It's got the
you wanna
nice,
fill
easy
that up a little
spout.
bit more?
4-liter box, bag in a box. It's the best way.
My friend Claire from the Bits, my podcast, would like to sponsor a hole.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'll put
at
you two
that.
in touch.
Sweet. Let's get into that.
Oh, nice work.
Oh, just doing business.
What does she do?
She works in auto sales.
Cool.
Yeah.
With who?
I don't remember the name of the
Oh,
company.
boy.
Oh, we put her on the spot too much.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's like
Sorry.
it's one of those conglomerates.
like
that the
auto,
right word?
Auto One?
I don't know. Claire texted me, bail me out here, bud.
So those Oilers.
Oilers, Stars, conference finals.
Oh,
You guys
boy.
ready? Do you guys
I'm
have the
ready.
hate for the Stars? Is it still there?
Hate?
Yeah, for the Stars
Nope.
from the 90s.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
No, I
No?
wouldn't say hate, actually. No.
So that's gone away.
Yeah,
'Cause there
definitely.
was, like, that was such a rivalry.
It
Even
was
though the
such a
Stars
rivalry.
consistently took out the Oilers, it was a big thing. It was like every spring we knew Oilers, Stars, let's try it again. And the hate came. That has gone away for you guys?
yeah.
Yeah, it has because partly I played for Dallas.
Yeah.
So that kind of eliminates that. And then one of my buddies, his uncle is Jim Nill.
Oh.
So I've got to meet him a few times. Unbelievable
So you
human
hate the
being.
Oilers now?
So I don't hate the Stars and don't try to rope me into that nonsense. So no, I don't hate anybody.
I just honestly, like, yeah, they lost to them. I have just such fun, great memories from that time. So yeah, like I didn't like them, but I just have such like fun memories from that time in my life. You know, like I remember I would go like Mike Modano and Darian Hatcher would be at Cowboys 25-cent draft, obviously, and like you know, obviously girls would be talking to them, and I'd just be chirping them. Obviously,
You have to.
right? Yeah, just
Yeah.
like walking by them, like booing them and like stuff like that, right? So, like all of that is just like really great memories. And I don't necessarily remember when they beat us. I just remember when we beat them and like shocked them, right? And
The
like
old
so,
Todd
like that was
Marchand.
just such like a fun time for me. So yeah, certainly. I mean, I hate them now. I hate Jake Ottinger.
Really?
Well, I just do because he's very good.
That's fair.
It's the Oiler, you know, got to learn to hate your next opponent.
Yeah, no, I don't hate him.
Well, I respect him, but he's really good. That's my biggest concern.
Yeah. See, like, I'm not sure there's a team that I hate. There's groups that I'm like, I don't even care to watch them play, like the Islanders. Like, I think the Islanders are snore hockey.
Like afterthoughts for you?
They're just boring. Can't watch that. But like then you look at certain teams and you're like, hey, you know what? I kind of like how they play. Kind of like how Nashville played. I kind of like how Dallas plays. They're a pretty good team. So I don't think there's when I think about this whole thing and I gotta hate my next opponent, like I don't even hate the Canucks at this point. Don't like their fans.
Yeah.
But based on like what I saw,
You were too inside then.
yeah,
You got too inside the
That's my
league.
point. Yeah,
Because
too inside.
like how many teams? I hate the Leafs.
Actually,
Just
you know what?
'cause
There you go. I will give you that. I don't like the Leafs.
I want zero talk of them winning a cup. Like, that's the thing. Like, I will probably have to leave the country for a couple of months because I just don't want to hear every day about where the Stanley Cup is with said Maple Leaf or something. That one is just annoying to me.
TSN played 22 minutes of the Leafs the other day because Berube got hired, obviously.
Yesterday. Yeah.
And it's like, really? You guys are golfing. And you don't want to talk about the only team that's existing right now in Canada? Like, let's talk about that series that just was, the All-Canadian matchup, how good it was. And you want to talk about the Leafs and Berube and Marner potentially getting traded. Like, I'm sorry. Worry about that, like, down the road.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
this
get away
welcome
from me.
to our freaking world, Toronto Sports Network, and yeah. Well, he was never going to make it as a broadcaster,
Who?
Berube. I saw him on like a few TNT shows, and he looked real nervous.
I don't think he's as strong of a coach as some people are thinking. He had a great run with the Blues when they went to go win the Stanley Cup. They've gone to the playoffs many times with some good teams, and I think he only won one playoff series.
I just think he's a no-nonsense guy, which will force some of these stars to play. So I think that's partly why they hired him. Like,
Or you just get those stars who just get pissed off and go, I don't want to play for
no,
this
but
guy.
I think he's a player's coach.
Okay.
But he's very demanding, and he holds guys accountable. And he's like, hey, you don't want to play? Well, that's okay. You just probably won't be here then. And that's kind of why they're sitting there saying, okay, well, we've had Sheldon Keefe, who was like he was very nice to them and just made sure they're around, and he's a player's coach too. But they need a little bit of
But they had Babcock.
yeah, that's a different level. Like you need a little bit of player's coach, but sandpaper.
Yeah, Babcock
Right? Like,
was the
Babcock
other extreme.
was like he
that
wasn't
was
even
abusive.
sandpaper. He was just like way down there on his own, and that was outrageous.
He was far right.
Yeah, that was like mental game nonsense.
I don't see what's wrong with having to give your cell phone to players or to your coach. I give it to Dusty every day when I come in. Dusty, we all walk to Dusty. He takes our phone, he goes through it, and then he
Yeah,
goes
you want to
back.
see that? Okay, go nuts, man. Yeah, Babcock was outrageous.
He was too far.
Yeah,
Berube's
it was-
players coach that has accountability. He builds trust of his players, but you know that you have to play for him. You have to go into you're walking through the fire with him. That's what it is. And then so unfortunately Sheldon Keefe, it just didn't work out because I think he might have been a little bit too soft on him.
And been there for a little bit long.
Yep. And time
He's
for
just
new,
part of that.
time for a new voice.
Well, and the GM,
Nothing wrong with that.
The GM
Yeah.
usually gets their own guy.
Yep.
And I know they gave the extension to Sheldon Keefe,
You knew it was going to happen at some
but
point.
he needs to get his own guy in there
Yeah.
because now this is on Brad Trello. Now it's his team.
Yeah.
There's no connection to Kyle Dubas in that sense. It's you guys running it, and where can this go? So, but yeah, I don't ever want to see them win the Stanley Cup. Ever.
They probably won't.
Knock
We'll
on-
be dead.
Knock on wood.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I really
We'll
hope
never
so.
know.
Yeah, no, like I hope so.
Let's knock
it'll
on
be
wood on that one.
what?
Same with the Canucks.
Well, because
God, I just
the
want to see
roster's
Canucks
pretty
fans.
good, and they're not far away. That's the problem.
But
So
aren't
that's
they?
why
They
I
aren't
wanna
far
look
away,
there-
but they also can't get through the first round.
To me, it looks like their window's closing. It's not like in the middle of its window. Like it's almost closed. I don't look at this team going into next year and saying they're going to be a top team in the East.
Fair enough.
I'm still going to have the Rangers, the Hurricanes, the Panthers, as of right now.
Yeah, fair enough.
The Bruins. We'll see what the Lightning do.
So I have to say that when the Oilers started the series against the Canucks, they lost game 1. And I was, I'm always too high, too low.
Yeah.
I don't regulate my emotions very well.
Today's word of the
but,
day on the
like,
Hangout, regulate.
regulator. Yeah.
Nice.
Anyways.
Nice reference.
Thank you. Anyways, like I was going to say, if the Oilers don't get out of this series, are they any different from the Toronto Maple Leafs?
100% there.
They got through the series, but if they didn't, are they any
Like,
different from the Maple
losing to
Leafs?
the Canucks.
Yeah. What if they had
Yes.
lost to the Canucks? Like, because for me, it's like, yeah, we got through the first round, didn't get through the second round.
It would have been different for a couple of reasons for me. They did get to conference finals 2 years ago then.
Yeah.
They lost to the Stanley Cup champs the last 2 years. If you lose to the Canucks, it wouldn't have been good. But one of the biggest differences to me about the Oilers and the Leafs is the Oilers' core players have shown up in playoffs.
Yeah, okay, fair.
You can't say that
Yeah.
about the Leafs.
Yeah.
And that's
That's
why
fair.
there's the questions of now's the time, well, it should have been last year. Now's the time to break up the core in Toronto because they don't fully show up in the playoffs, where you can't say that with the Oilers. You can
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
McDavid and Leon and this series like Nuge, and they've shown up.
Mm-hmm.
It's the rest of the team that isn't built properly. It's the Ryan
Yeah.
McLeod not showing up. It's the Warren Fogle not showing up. I guess part of the core, Darnell Nurse hasn't been as good as people would have hoped or were expecting type thing. But like that's where the anger would have been. And then the anger would have been at Ken Holland, you didn't build the right team with this core. Whereas in Toronto, it's the core needs to be broken up.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I mean, yeah, because we saw it ourselves. There is a learning curve. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, they've had plenty of opportunities to learn.
So if the Oilers don't win this next round,
This one against the Stars.
against the Stars, do we think that they have progressed, or do we just sit here and say, well, they just haven't built it properly?
I think it kind of depends on how the series goes, probably, right?
Yeah,
if they
that's
get
what I was gonna
swept, yeah, they haven't really made the progress that they have to. But if this thing goes 7 and it's 1 goal difference,
Yeah.
But I have friends who are like, they're kind of playing with house money now. And I'm like, I don't feel that way. I feel like they really have to come and bring it in this series. And it's not going to get easier to get to this point. Like Vancouver showed themselves this year, right? The West is going to be difficult.
get
The
tighter,
Pacific
yeah.
is going to
Yeah.
get.
Although I wonder what the
so
Canucks will be
like.
next
How
year.
many
There's some
times
changes
can
coming.
you? How many times can you get back here and not break through? Right.
Yeah.
So that's what I worry about.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Because Dallas obviously has improved. Winnipeg will try to get better again. Colorado, is going to get better. LA is going to try to figure out some way to try to get better. Vancouver, yes, they're going to have some changes, but at the same time, like, you got to expect them to sign most of that core back, bring all these guys back, and then, hey, what else do we need to add to this to make sure that we're taking that next step? Because in their mind, you guys won, or Edmonton won by 1 goal in Game 7. You didn't have your best goaltender in, and you didn't have one of your best forwards. That's what they're thinking right now. So they can't be that far away. So yeah, I think it's
But
it's an important
the Canucks
series.
to me also looked at, no one was expecting this year they could be the one-hit wonder. We've seen that where that team has that great season. I think the Canucks this year, their PDO was high. Think if those advanced stats, and typically the next year that team kind of does take a step back.
Yeah.
So we all thought the Canucks were going to fall down to earth at some point. They didn't. But is that maybe come next year?
Well, they fell down back down to earth in the last 3 games of that series.
But they also injuries decimated them too.
Yes.
Yeah, fair.
That killed them a lot. For the to me.
But on the flip side, the Oilers were dealing with illness, so
Yeah.
it's not like it was completely uneven.
Is Connor
right?
hurt too?
Of course he is. He was hurt going into he missed those games at the end of the season.
Yeah.
What was it?
I don't think we got. If somebody could correct us in the nasty chat or the Paris Jewelers inbox 780-218-9999. I don't remember I don't think we got anything. I don't recall hearing kind of what it was.
Yeah.
But it was one of those where he missed a few games, came back, but that was one. It didn't seem like he's going to be healthy. Like, I don't feel like
what exactly it was though, but.
So, I would say he's probably got something going on because that probably hasn't fully healed.
Yeah.
And it seemed like he was probably a little sick this past series, as we've heard that something went through the Edmonton Oilers, which is good that maybe it's passed.
It's passed, yeah.
as you
Got
get
some
to the
immunity.
Stars.
Yeah.
I would say that, coming into this season, to me, the bar to be a successful season was at minimum conference final appearance. And they've done it. Is there progress moving forward? To me, there would be progress to a sense because they're a top 4 team. All 4 teams in the Final Four are worthy. If they do get swept, I guess it would be how they get swept. If they're blowouts every game, then there'd be a little more concern than for me. But I don't see that happening. That I would look at, this is progress. You get to this point, anything can happen at that point. It's kind of a crapshoot because, also what we talk about how hockey, Stanley Cup, it's the hardest thing to win because the grind and of the entire playoffs.
Yep.
We don't know what other injuries the Oilers are having to deal with. We don't know what injuries the Stars are having to deal with, but that's going to impact you. And so I think at worst, the Oilers have had a successful season, and I would say that there was a bit of progress this year.
Is it
Personally,
enough for Draisaitl to stay though?
I
don't want to open this chat back up, but
I'm of the mindset that I don't think he's leaving, anyways. But I think so. You've got all. We'll see what happens next year. But let's say the Oilers lose in 6 to the Dallas Stars this year, conference finals 2 out of the last 3 years. Where are you going? Where are you getting that you're that close to winning a Stanley Cup? It's not LA.
And that you know that it works, right? Because
And there's no guarantee of winning
Yeah.
Stanley Cups. There's,
see, I just look at the Oilers and say, okay, well, you still have some issues. Like the defense has been fine, but I don't think it's good enough to truly contend, to be like, I'm comfortable shutting teams down. Like they've done a good job in the last few games, but I look at that group and okay, so Bouchard's taken a step, which is great. Ekholm is solid as per usual, but then Vinny Desharnais's taken a step.
Yeah.
But then the next 3 guys with Nurse and Cece and Kulak's always solid defensively, so I don't really want to clump him into that. But at the same time, can you upgrade? Because that's the biggest question, and then that's what they tried to do at the deadline. It never worked out, obviously, but they tried to upgrade the defense. So you move into another season. You're hearing rumors of maybe Evander Kane might be gone. Okay, so what are you going to do to replace him? Is Holloway taking a big enough step to now, fulfill that role?
I think he has.
Henrique?
I think
Yeah.
Holloway
What do
for
you
this
do with Henrique?
playoffs.
Do you re-sign him? Does he come back? Sam Carrick. I think Sam Carrick should 1,000% be re-signed and retained by the Oilers, because you saw what he did in Game 7. Like, he was a menace on the forecheck. Foegele is a UFA. So, like, these guys have changes too. And how do you fill? Where do you fill?
But
It's not like Lavoie is ready to take some of those roles yet.
But I feel like these conversations would have been had in Dallas for the last number of years. Dallas was always that team that
Dallas has been
have
stocking their cupboard quietly for a long time.
But they always they never could get over the hump. It seems under Jim Nill that they just haven't taken those big steps. They've gone to the Cup final, losing to the Lightning here in Edmonton. They've had some good years. Got to the conference final last year.
Yep.
But they didn't win it in the end.
And that was 4 years ago now. That's crazy to think about.
And that's where I'll just keep going to it's not easy to win and stuff. So you get to the Final Four. That's a big accomplishment, and I don't see why you'd want to walk away from that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I still stand. The money's going to be. This isn't a question about money.
No.
the money will be there for him.
money, yeah.
The
I
Oilers
think
will pay
he
him
really
whatever
likes
he
playing in
wants.
Edmonton too. The things that I've heard is that he really likes it here. So, and why would you leave Connor?
Yeah, who knows?
Like just
That's the part.
full
like,
stop right
Yeah.
there, right?
There's again bringing the Toronto comparison into this. It doesn't seem like the core in Toronto are all super tight. It
No.
seems like the core in Edmonton are all super tight.
Yeah.
Oh, at the rink and away from the rink and stuff.
Do we
Yeah.
know who's in Connor's wedding party? I just got to ask. Like, is Leon in the wedding party? Because Celeste is in Lauren's.
I can see that.
Is that his girlfriend?
Leon's
girlfriend?
yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna assume then yes, Leon's in Connor's.
I hope so.
Like
Is
as a
Darnell in there
groomsman.
too?
Yeah, I don't know. But like, I know this is a ridiculous segue to talk about a wedding,
It's-
but if you want to talk about like the core being tight, like that will tell us some stuff.
Yep.
Well, if Leon's not in that, but his girlfriend is. Uh-oh.
Well, but like Celeste,
No.
Leon and Celeste met because of Lauren and Connor.
Yeah, but one can't be in the bridal or in the wedding party and one not.
Yeah, no,
They both
Leon's
have
got to
be
be in
there.
it. Leon's got to
And
be in it.
they'll be
Yeah.
paired together.
Yeah, of course
Yeah.
they're gonna walk down the
They're
aisle
not going to be in
together.
separate spots. They'll be together.
It's gonna be a preview of their
It's-
wedding next summer.
Won't be best man and maid of honor.
No,
They'll be like the ones below or
she has
something.
two maid of honors.
How do you know all this?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm also a
Real
girl.
Housewives
I
of
know,
the
Like,
but
I'm
like-
also a
I-
girl.
I-
I follow Lauren on Instagram. Like, I love sports and I want to dive deep into it, but I also love like House
The
Hunters
tea. You
International
want the
and
tea.
the tea of Lauren's wedding. Listen, like I'm trying to predict a lot of things with that wedding.
I will say this is your chance to be a true insider in the hockey world.
Yeah.
The Dreggers and the LeBruns and the Friedmans and the Gazzolas of the world are going to sit there and going to talk about the contract negotiations and does Leon like it in Edmonton and Does he prefer
Yeah.
LA? You need to come in with the wedding stuff. But hold on a second. Leon's in the wedding.
Leon's in the wedding party, everybody. I think it's safe to say that he will be re-signing with the Oilers.
I think full looking at just the wedding,
Yes.
everything leading up to the wedding,
Yeah.
including the wedding, and that's
How
just
the stag goes,
if-
like
Yeah.
who's on the stag, who had the most fun.
Leon's been planning some crazy things for Connor.
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
I think he's probably looking at a 6-year deal in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and let's
Minimum
not
of
forget,
6.
Lauren and Celeste are really good friends. And so, like, you're not going to want to pull Celeste away from one of her best friends, Leon.
And this is your angle to break the Leon news.
Yeah.
Oh,
To
this
be
is
the one as
great.
everyone else is panicking.
Yeah.
Quinn will come on EST in the mornings and Dusty will be like, so what's the latest? Well, let me tell you about this wedding.
Okay, I have confirmed that he is the second groomsman, which means he's pretty high on the list.
Jocelyn saying
Oh, too
100%
good.
Leon in the wedding. So she thinks it.
Yeah.
Ian says Quinn's gossip hour. Just do the tea of the
Yeah,
Edmonton
the
Oilers.
tea of the Oilers.
Well, this Two Hoots, the tea. Hello, it's a partnership made in heaven. Quinn's Two Hoots or something like that.
Yeah.
Huh? She's spilling the tea in Quinn's Two Hoots.
The hard iced tea.
The hard iced tea.
Don't just give a hoot,
I think
give
we just
two.
found a segment.
Oh, you don't give a hoot? How about two?
See, she's even got the liner
It's-
completely
it's
locked
built-
down.
it's built in.
It's all perfect.
Perfect.
And then,
Unreal.
and then to keep this going, you need Leon to get him propose.
Yeah.
So that they get engaged, so they could continue with that one. Because
Oh, yeah, build out
next
that
year's
one.
Connor's
Yeah.
contract here.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out, okay, connect it all to Leon's wedding
And
with Connor's contract.
And we'll really know because if Connor's planning to leave, there's no way he's in Leon's wedding party because Leon's going to be upset because he's now signed an extension with the Oilers. You can tell a lot
this
from
is
these weddings.
This is a good 2-year bit you could get going on. Here.
Yeah. I can
Lauren's
make
gonna
millions.
This is so good.
Lauren's gonna block you on Insta. You're gonna have a
Yeah.
fake Insta account just
Oh
to
my
continue
God.
it.
Yeah, she finds out that she's the center of two hoots. You don't give one hoot, you give two hoots.
Or that one day she just comes on as a guest to there's the
This is the pinnacle. This is
ultimate
the pinnacle.
episode.
Yeah.
The ultimate episode. We end the series at that point.
Yeah.
Lauren
should
and
get-
what
you
was
should
the
get-
other
Lauren,
name?
thank you for
Lauren
closing
and
the loop.
Celeste on the hangout.
Celeste.
Lauren and Celeste on the hangout.
I won't be here.
You
Tommy
got
won't
no.
be here.
There's no
It's
men
just
in the
Quinn
building.
and
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
two.
Everybody's outside.
Quinn and
And that will be the
two
last.
ladies.
What are
Yeah.
we calling this?
Quinn's Two Hoots. Spilling the tea.
And boom, then it's over.
Oh, this
we
is
walk
amazing.
away. Connor, Leon signed their major extensions, and the entire
The
city
rest
of
is
Edmonton
history.
loves Quinn because
Yep.
you did it.
Yeah, I
Nice
brought
work.
everybody
Did it.
together.
Bring it together.
Did it.
I'm liking
Man,
this.
my
I'm
dad
liking
would
this
be
idea.
proud.
Truthfully, though, there is something to that at her
There,
being in the wedding
there
party.
literally could be.
Well, the wedding party part. So,
Yeah,
but
no,
I
I
still
mean-
think Leon stays. Travel's so easy these days, and quite frankly, Daryl Cates has got his own PJ. If she wants to live in LA a little bit, it's very easy to be like, here's.
Let's
get on
not
a
open
plane.
this bag again.
No, Lauren and Celeste think that Edmonton has the best dog park in North America, in Canada.
I'm sorry.
You can even keep a straight face with that one.
Well, they do.
Firstly,
But
how do you know that?
Lauren put it on Instagram. Listen, I'm telling you,
So of course it has to be true.
she would never
She
lie.
would never play it up.
Okay.
Never play it up for the
Well,
other fans.
what in Toronto is better? Give me a break.
I didn't say Toronto,
No.
but
Anyways,
okay. I wouldn't have ever put that around Edmonton. Which dog parks?
Yeah. Which,
what's it called? Bonavista.
Okay.
It's incredible down there.
Fascinating.
I mean, if you've never been down there, then
don't
you
have a
might be
dog.
laughing at me. But everybody
Don't.
that goes down there, it's genuinely incredible, and it's
Tom's
right by
gonna
their
take
house.
Penny right away.
Oh yeah. Well, my brother, when he lived here before he moved down
Tom
east,
would have to cross a river to do that, and he does not cross rivers.
If it's to meet people, he'll cross whatever.
Yeah, he can drive over there. Yeah.
It took me like 4 months for him to cross the river just to come have lunch.
Yeah,
Down
but
south.
he doesn't have a chance with you.
Well, That's fair.
Does he have a chance with Lauren Kyle?
No, but overall,
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
he's talked about it just last week about how taking Penny to dog parks and all the girls want to talk to him and stuff. So if you say there's the better dog park, he's going. Him and Paulie are going to eventually fight over who's going to have Penny.
Tom sounded so sad yesterday when I called him.
Why?
He's like, it's last day with the dog. Just so
Yeah,
clingy.
what is this
so clingy.
situation? What's
the parents'
happening?
dog?
Yeah, it's the parents' dog.
They got the dog for a Christmas gift for their parents.
Oh,
But then,
okay, that's
like,
okay.
Reno was in a poker tournament in Montreal this
God,
past week.
Reno. I love
So
Reno.
Tom took over Penny for the week
Yeah.
to babysit.
Okay.
And then in the summer, they have to babysit him and Paulie. And last
They have to
year it caused-
babysit Polly.
No, between Tommy and Paulie, they babysit Penny, and it causes problems between the two brothers because they get mad at
Yeah.
each other, and it
Yeah.
usually causes some sort of beef.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This is all
He was
sounding.
so sad. And I'm like, you want to go for lunch? He's like, no, I got the dog. I can't. She's so clingy.
Bring the
It's like,
dog.
are you okay, Tom? Do you
a
need
lot
a
of-
hug, buddy?
Aw. I mean, who can blame him?
Jasmine's-
He's out of jail, finally.
Jasmine in the nasty chat, 780-218-9999. The second part is the more important part, I think, for Quinn. Maddie, what are your thoughts on the Pacers almost being the Celtics, who are -10 in tonight's matchup with Ant-Man? The Pacers blew it. They don't have a chance now against the Celtics. I don't think. If they go up
Celtics
1-0,
are
there's a
a
chance.
powerhouse.
Celtics are too good. You can't let them off the hook like that.
Yeah.
Blew that one. I'm hoping the Timberwolves do some good stuff. So
Why
I
didn't
hope they-
Siakam get his hands up? Like, I know he was super close, but like, you can't keep them down because Jalen's just going to jump over you.
There's a lot of questions that we could have. They just blew it.
Just
in the end,
push him
they
into the
completely
front
blew
row.
it. P.S. Gagne's daughter is the flower girl for the wedding.
Yeah. Knew that.
So
Okay, that was.
there's
the
a
second
lot
part.
of interest here about
I know. My brother said he's proud with a frowny face.
Jocelyn adding in. I follow Lauren and Celeste too, and didn't know about the dog park. You're a queen, Quinn. So we've got that. So I guess dog parks might keep. It's not that they got to the conference finals. It's not that they're close to winning a Stanley Cup. Edmonton's got some really good dog parks. Best in
Bonavista
North
Dog
America.
Park. Yeah.
There
Yeah.
it is.
And boom.
Yeah.
Connor and Leon are staying. You heard it here first on the EST.
Because
Hangout.
of the dog park, the wedding
wedding
party.
party.
Yeah.
Well, we think.
I mean, there's some
We
like.
still don't fully know that Leon's in.
I
'cause
know.
if
I'm
he's
dying
not-
to find out who is in that wedding. Like, because who else would it be?
Well, and Connor's not
Like,
going
'cause
to.
Connor also has, like,
posting that on
weird
Insta.
side friends.
He's not going to do that on.
No.
He's not the guy that's like, look who's in my party or gifting them this
Yeah,
today.
Like,
it'll
if
be
you
last
think
minute.
I'm not like on the stag, like zooming in, like freeze framing things, screenshotting it. Like, if you think that's not going down, you got another thing coming.
There's not going to be a single picture from the stag.
Yeah.
You're not going to sing a
Until
single story.
TMZ has something.
There's not going to be a single thing coming from that stag. I will say that right now.
No, there's one friend that's gonna just.
Nope.
If I'm
Phones will be
Connor,
away.
there's a bag. Everyone put it in this bag at the start of the stag. Zip it up. Done. No phones.
That won't help. I mean, we saw what already happened with him when he was
Nope.
holding another girl's hand. So
Nope.
Oh boy.
We're not going there
saying.
fully.
Yeah,
I'm
okay,
just-
let's just not
they
go
will
there.
go.
You're right.
If I'm Connor, it's a place. No, I'm not going in public. I've got a nice place, private place somewhere, just for me and the boys.
That sounds boring. I want a public, flashy, wild.
For you,
Yeah.
it's boring. It'd be
Yeah.
boring. For
Fair
them,
enough.
it'll be a lot of fun. It
Yeah.
will be a lot of fun.
Yeah, they'll get into some
Reminder, we have a
trouble.
qualifying opportunity still for the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival, July 12th through the 14th, Kingsman Outdoor Park. Friday, Andrew Scholl, Shane Gillis. Saturday, Kevin Hart. Sunday, Burt Kreischer and Whitney Cummings. You could get tickets to Saturday and Sunday show at greatoutdoorscomedyfestival.com. Friday, completely sold out. Go enjoy some great comedy in a wonderful setting and enjoy a 6 o'clocker lager, as Alley Cat is the official beer of the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival. They have a couple beers that they are bringing out to it, but one of them being the 6 o'clocker lager, our first signature event for the 6 o'clocker lager. We want to qualify someone for that Friday with Andrew Schultz and Shane Gillis. We'll do that later on the EST Hangout. Quinn tried the birdie booze for the first time, and you enjoyed it, just like the two Hoots. You enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So.
I'm already done my
Would you
two
like
hoops.
some?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna get. But if anyone else would like, you let me know.
I'll have a. Oh.
Say when.
When?
Great radio. No one's talking.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
So we're just
Now
pouring
Iwanyk
booze
is
right
pushing.
now.
When?
Yeah.
There we go. It's great. Fastest team in Canada. Fastest growing team in Canada. That's what they
I
told
can
us
see
yesterday.
why.
That's what they told us. And like again, we haven't even hit the hot part of the summer. This should help you regulate.
Oh yeah. There's going to be lots of these at the EST Golf Classic, correct?
No. I don't
Oh.
believe I'll have them there. We're going to have 6 o'clockers
Yeah. Okay, that's
and Brady
fair.
booze.
That's it? No 2 hoots?
We're only allowed 2 alcoholic holes. Don't worry.
Are
There's
you kidding me?
Don't worry. Don't worry. I have it taken care of.
Marie.
I have it taken care of.
Marie.
It's AGLC rules.
Marie.
AGLC. Full on. I've learned this. But I am to everyone going, don't worry. I can tell you guys after, but I've got it taken care of.
Okay, yeah, he's got a very
There will be
like sly
Well,
look on
it's-
his face,
look,
and like there's something
I've
brewing
never
there.
planned a golf tournament in my life,
Yeah,
but I have played in golf tournaments. I know what a golf tournament should have.
Yeah. Lots of booze holes.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
yeah.
All
I
right,
actually
all
don't
right.
feel worried.
All right.
This is the calmest I've ever been.
I know,
Is
I
it
know
the
what I'm
2
doing.
hoots? I don't know.
Oh, it tastes so good. It tastes delicious.
It is really good.
Anything else to talk about Oilers, Stars? Missing anything?
I don't
you
know.
guys wanted
I
to
just
say?
think that nobody is giving the Oilers a chance, and I think that they deserve a shot.
I don't think anyone.
I think if they play the
What do
way
you
they
mean no
did
one's
in
giving
Game
them a
7,
shot?
like just smothering an absolutely relentless forecheck. They were relentless in Game 6 and 7.
Yeah, they
and
were.
There's not a lot of people saying Stars and 4 type thing. Are you guys seeing
there's
that
a lot? There's a lot of stars in 5.
Stars in 5. I know.
Yeah,
I just.
there's a lot of that.
Do you believe that?
I don't think it's going to be 5.
Yeah.
ESPN having
But you don't give the Oilers much of a chance.
No, I do because you have the 2
Okay.
best players in the world.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
like, for
And
me,
the
I'm-
power play and their penalty kill
Yeah.
is not.
But
like
you guys would have
Dallas's
to
penalty
admit
kill.
that the Dallas is the favorite going
the
into
Dallas
the series.
Oh, of
Stars are
course.
the favorite going in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is weird because I've seen some tweets where the odds makers were actually saying the Oilers had the best chance of getting to the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I saw that tweet too. Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, that's interesting. But Dallas was a preseason favorite for the Stanley Cup. Throughout the course of the year, they were one of the favorites for the Stanley Cup. And I mean, what they've done in the playoffs to date is pretty impressive. Like,
Oh yeah.
So ESPN, which had, I think it was like 25 of 26 people pick the Oilers over the Canucks. 18 of 23 are picking the Stars. But not a single series is picked in under 6 games.
Yeah.
like,
It's if they're
this will
picking
not be a
Stars,
short
it's
series.
6 or 7. If they're picking the Oilers, it's 6 or 7.
yeah.
So, at least based on that one, I don't know if anyone else does a lot of these big picks. It's going to be a tight series.
Yes.
But the fear I have for the Oilers, brought it up on the Hangout yesterday, they haven't gone against a good goalie yet.
The fear I have for the Oilers is sometimes they get a little bit sleepy.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Like,
Sometimes. That's my biggest fear for the Oilers is that, hey, like you can't go sleepy on the Stars because they will score
They
in
can
bunches.
roll 4 lines out that all of them can score. Yeah.
LA couldn't score. Easy series. You look at Vancouver, they were physical, they were in your face, they had a little bit of scoring, but they didn't have as much as they probably could because Pettersson was out of the lineup.
No.
Lindholm didn't score the way that he probably should have. But now you got a lineup that's way deeper than Vancouver was, better defense than Vancouver was, better goaltender that Vancouver had, and you can't go sleepy. Because if you do, we saw what Vancouver did when the Oilers decided to take their foot off the gas pedal. They brought themselves right back into it. Mm-hmm. So it's dangerous.
Do you think? Yeah, and I mean they did it a few times against, because I'm just like, like I love to think that they'll learn lessons. I love to think that like they saw how they played in Game 7 and was like, okay, that's the formula, and just stick with that. Right?
It's once a game.
here's a lesson,
Yeah.
potentially. Would you plan to get Calvin Pickard in the net no matter what? To give Skinner a rest? Is he a goalie that needs a rest in a series? Is he a guy that if you're Chris Knobloch right now, you look at it and go,
This is your
Game
rest. This
3
is your
is
rest,
Calvin
kid.
Pickard.
This is your rest right now.
Yeah.
You got till Thursday. Go find a hyperbaric chamber somewhere. I don't want to see you for a couple days. Rest, recover, kick that door open, and say you're back. This is your rest time. Because I'm sorry, like, I really appreciate what Pickard did. But if you're going to sit here and say that Skinner is your number one, Skinner, you don't have time to now try to get that rest because Dallas is too good.
Right. Okay, but the Oilers have been Dallas with Pickard in net this year.
Which is fair. But that's regular season.
Their playoffs turned with Pickard going in the net. And it'd be one, maybe, like, let's say you split Dallas 1-1, which is excellent. That's what you're trying to do if you're the Oilers. You come back in one of those, maybe game 3's Calvin Pickard. Just because maybe that makes Skinner at his best. That we know if we get one game off for him, he's going to now play a lot better. And the team still has a chance to win because Pickard can do it. We did it in the playoffs. If you're Chris Knoblauch, you could say that. You did it with him against the Stars team in the regular season. And maybe it's best for all involved where we'll get you one game off. It's your net, though. We're planning for this. You give them the heads up that we're doing this.
And I mean, for me, I don't have an issue with Pickard going in.
No, either do I, because I think he was fine, and I think he did a really good job.
And I mean, he only played 2 games, but his save percentage is much higher than Stuart Skinner's.
Yeah, I just think
So,
that Dallas is just different. Like, I don't think you have time to play around. That's all I'm thinking.
I don't like the indecision and like a touch of like chaos of like going back and forth between goalies because it's just like, who does that, right?
Yeah.
Like you just don't see that very often. You go with a guy,
It's
right?
It's not playing around, Maddie. So I know what you're saying, but it's like, it's the fact that you're like, okay, well, hey, Skinner needs a little bit of rest. Like,
but if that makes him at his best, why wouldn't you go with that way? As opposed to sticking with hockey traditions, which is we're sticking with our number one, you're the number one, you go. If what we learned last year is potentially is, or if you're Chris Knoblauch, you feel you learned that Skinner can't go a full series. Why not then plan and make it known to everyone that, like, hey, Skinner, there's going to be a team, we're going to take you out.
Is it he can't go a full series, or is it the fact that he had to play all those games against LA, then play Vancouver, which then made him? So is it like, hey, every, I don't know, seven or eight games, okay, maybe we need to get this guy a rest. But if you're going to go by that logic, well, then that's towards the end of the series, which would be like game 6.
So could you give him
Which
like
is a
game
scary
5? Well, could you then
time
give him
to-
game 5
Exactly,
potentially?
yeah.
Where, like, depending on where the series is, like, if you got a 2-2 series, could you give him a game 5, Calvin Pickard, and give Skinner that off to get 6 and 7? Or is that where you try to get it in game 4 because you're still in it? Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm very intrigued to see if Chris Knoblauch's going to look at that at all, just because maybe that's what Stuart Skinner needs to be at the best, is that he just needs to take a little rest at a certain moment in a series.
Well, and I will say, like I just said, like, oh, that's scary putting Pickard in at the end of a series, game 6 or something. But I didn't want him to come out for 6 because I thought I didn't want him. Like I was upset when they decided to go back to Skinner because I was like, it just looks like chaos for starters, and Pickard hasn't done anything to make you think that like you can't put him in for game 6. Right. So I actually was like, I was kind of upset. So maybe, but if you're sitting for a whole series and then come in at 6, maybe a bit different.
But he
like,
sat for a
especially if
whole
you're on
LA
the ropes,
series,
right?
though. He sat the entire LA series, sat the first 3 games
Yeah,
of the
okay,
Vancouver
fair.
series. The season was on the ropes and he saved it.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Like, he can do that. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I would have
Vancouver's not
confidence.
Dallas.
Absolutely.
That's I think that's my biggest issue is that,
Yeah.
you know what, like, hey, I'm not trying to take anything away from Vancouver, but at the same time, I think you were afforded that luxury because it was Vancouver. Dallas is arguably the deepest team in the entire NHL. So at this point, I would just get a little bit leery being like, okay, well, I'm going to sacrifice one game or potentially whatever that looks like just to try to get this guy rest, because you don't know what's going to happen because, you know, in the Vancouver series, Edmonton was favored. They were across the board.
100%.
And rightfully so, because they, in my opinion, they were a better team. And you saw it because when they decided to really play, Vancouver didn't really have a chance. This is now flipped the opposite way, where you're saying Dallas is the favorite team because they are deep. They don't have a hole. There's not one spot where I can be like, hey, you know what? Like, the Oilers are going to win this area of the game. Well, because, well, you're going to, Connor's the best player in the world. He can outskate anybody. Well, Miro Heiskanen's a pretty good skater, so I'm going to stick him on the ice. And they only play 5 defensemen. And those 5 defensemen all average 22 plus minutes of work. It kind of reminds me of when Anaheim won the playoffs. Wasn't that 07, 06, 07?
07 season.
Yes. And
Pronger, Niedermeyer.
they played the top 3, then they played the other 2 guys, but all those guys averaged 20 plus minutes, and you didn't have a shift off because you didn't have that favorable matchup. It reminds me of that. Dallas's defense is, obviously a little bit different than that group, but
see, and I would agree with you a little bit more on that if Pickard went in this series against Vancouver and didn't look good. But the fact that he did beat Dallas this year, the fact that he looked good in the 2 games, and even in the loss, he was not the reason for that loss that the Oilers have against the Canucks. That, to me, it wouldn't even be a throwaway game if I'm Chris Knoblauch and I do that. We still have every chance of winning this hockey game with this guy in, but I'm also taking my number 1 and making him even better the rest of this series.
Yeah, but the game that he won against Dallas, wasn't it a back-to-back for Dallas? They played Colorado one night, and then they ended up playing Edmonton the next night.
Let's find out. This beauty of phones.
And the regular season. Because, to me, regular season does not matter to me.
Well,
it got proved in this last series, period, right?
Because, guys are doing all sorts of nonsense.
I think it was a flip of that. Actually, it did show a little bit of regular season because everyone thought the Oilers in 4. But the Canucks were able to win their hockey games because they know how to go up against the Oilers, and I think we overlooked that for a little soon.
They play very well.
It doesn't mean the Jets destroying the Avs, one of the last games of the season, didn't help them in the playoffs.
But that's kind of my point with this. Well, he beat the Stars. I'm like, well,
schedule. Oh,
pretty sure it was
quick franchise history. I didn't want that one. Schedule
Let's
and
start
results.
back in 1979.
So the Oilers. So that one they lost to the Oilers. This must have been Pickerton, and I'm assuming this one. Let me double check, make sure I'm on the right game. Yeah, Pickard started.
4-3. Yeah.
So that was not a back-to-back. It was the first of a game.
You're wrong.
So
wrong.
The 2 nights before, they were in Nashville, 1-9-2. Then they were home to Edmonton 2 days later, lost 4-3 in OT. Then 2 days later, they were in Boston and lost 4-3. Actually, the Oilers sent them on a 4-game losing streak because then they lost to the Rangers and the Sens.
Yeah, that's a tough bounce losing to the Senators.
So Calvin Pickard won the only game, but it was an actual
How many saves did he have? And tell us everything. We need to know everything.
You want the full box score of this game? Let's February 17th, 2024. Let's all go back to that wonderful time.
Right,
the game
February
went for 2 hours and 32 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
Mason Marchment opened the score on the power play 8 in to the second period. So scoreless first period. Evan Bouchard, 2:03 in the second. Thomas Harley, 4:47 into the second. Corey Perry, 6:55 into the second.
Corey Perry scored.
Yes.
Woo!
Yes.
Derek Ryan, shorthanded.
Oh my
18:42 in the second. But then 19:02, so 58 seconds left in the period, Matt Duchene on the power play. No one scores in the third. Evan Bouchard, 30 seconds into OT on the power play. He scores. And Calvin Pickard made 24 saves on 27 shots, which is only an 889 save percentage, but only gave up 3 goals. Whereas Jake Ottinger had an 833 save percentage, 20 saves on 24 shots. That's February 17th, 2024. Where were you?
Sitting on my couch.
Was that in Dallas?
Yeah.
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 Because
Okay,
did the Oilers play the night before or 2 nights before against Colorado? Because that was like a big stretch, right? Like they'd played Colorado a couple nights in a row. They lost to Colorado, I think, at home. Then they went to Colorado, smacked them around. I think it was like 5-2. Then they went into Dallas the next night or the night after, something like that.
So that was a middle of a 3-game road trip.
Mm-hmm.
On February 15th, they were in St. Louis and they lost 6-3. Mm-hmm. Then we're in Dallas on the 17th, beat the Stars. Then they were in Arizona on the 19th,
Mm-hmm.
beat the Coyotes 6-3. Then came home to Boston and lost to Boston. There is no Colorado near any
Wasn't
of these.
like towards the end of the year though? They played Colorado a couple times.
Well,
And
so they lost 5-0 to Dallas on April 3rd. 5-0,
Yeah.
and then 2 nights later they beat Colorado at home 6-2.
Yeah.
So, but that wasn't with Calvin Pickard in it.
No.
The whole basis of
his
this is
old
Calvin
team.
Pickard,
Right.
his old teammate,
Calvin Pickard was your teammate?
roommate.
Your roomies.
When? What?
Colorado days. We
How long ago was
this
that?
would his
How
first
old is
year.
Calvin Pickard? I didn't know
his
he was like
first
in his
year-
50s.
First of all, just because I got gray hair doesn't mean I'm in my 50s. Just means I've had a good life.
No, I feel like we're like the same age, aren't we? Pretty close.
I'm 39.
Oh God, I'm older than you.
So there you go.
Come laughing.
I've lived a good life. That's why I got gray hair. It's wisdom.
It's wisdom.
Is it? You just said last week it's because the kids are giving you a hard time.
It's both.
It's stress.
It's stress because of those kids. Oh man.
You need to take a dog to Bona Vista Dog Park to relax.
Apparently I do.
To just calm down. It's the
Bona
greatest.
Vista, get
the
down
greatest thing
there.
ever.
Yeah.
Oh, we had another message on that, if I could find it. Oh, this is from Reno. Ask Quinn if Connor will dance down the aisle like Mitch Marner did.
Doing
Mitch
the
Marner?
gritty.
I don't know. Did
He
he?
did the gritty down the aisle.
Oof.
I want to see Connor crip walk down the aisle.
That would be amazing. Yeah.
It's also like the hardest dance, but
Yeah.
Connor
I think
should
that he
sell
can pull
this.
it off.
Connor and Lauren should sell their wedding. There'll be so many people that would watch it. Sell it to the Oilers for Oilers Plus. Get some subscriptions up on that service.
We're gonna circle back to over an hour ago.
Is this the sweating stuff?
No, Claire.
I'm trying to remember.
She
where
works
we're at.
for SG. Oh no, where did it go?
You just had this. I thought you
I know.
probably should have had it up when you started.
I don't know what's happening. Anyway, she works for SG Autos. She works in marketing. It's not a conglomerate. There's 4. Anyways, I'll put you in touch. Be great for her to sponsor a hole. For SG Autos to sponsor a hole. She's the chief marketing officer. I just really had to rebound from that because I don't
Yeah, you
know.
did. Yeah.
Was
She
she
was
mad at you?
like, "Come on." Well, I mean, I see her a lot and we talk a lot, so like.
So
but,
you
like,
should
don't-
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
fair.
like in
Yeah.
the exchange, was she upset? Did you get a tone of like disappointment?
Auto. Now she's sending me all caps.
She's just screaming at the computer right now. Quinn, figure
like
it out.
figure it
What
out.
are you doing? Read the text.
I
Sound
can't
it out,
find
Quinn.
them either.
Sound it out.
Jeez. Do you know English? Again. Oh boy. Anyways, we shouldn't have circled back.
Shame that we did that one.
Turns out the circle back was the wrong
Yeah,
play.
yeah.
Oh,
Totally
boy.
messed that move up.
Yeah, got a little sleepy like the Oilers, and here we
Boy.
are.
Oh boy.
Calvin, I want to
function.
see Connor carry the cup down the aisle. LOL.
Oh,
Wouldn't that be a mic drop for a wedding?
Man, that would be.
Boom. Put the wedding cake or something in it. Put it on display in the Stanley Cup.
no, the wedding cake should be a replica Stanley Cup.
But
That'd be
only if you
cool.
win.
Well,
Can't
yeah,
do that
obviously.
if you don't. Can't do that if you don't. Just
Okay, so
making
let's
sure we're on
just
that.
let's just do they touch the trophy? What's the Western Conference one called again?
Is it Campbell?
Campbell.
I say do it. They didn't do it
Yeah,
in
like
06.
Buck tradition. Just do it.
They didn't do it in
It
06.
doesn't matter. Like it
No.
But
really
it does.
doesn't matter. It
For-
doesn't.
but if you are superstitious, it does.
It doesn't.
And it does.
The only thing that matters is not touching the Stanley Cup. If
like,
you haven't won it, don't touch the
like
Stanley Cup. Yeah.
Can you touch it after your career?
Yeah, of course, because you don't have a chance to win it.
Okay. Yeah, because this was actually debate at the early of this season because I think Cassian was going to an event that had the Stanley Cup. And he's wondering, can
Man,
I
I
touch
would
it or
be
not?
licking that thing upside down. Like
Yeah.
up and down.
Yeah.
I don't have a chance to win you anymore. Lick.
But as long as you're playing, no. Okay. But if you're superstitious, I think I would hope they touch it.
It's one of the dumbest superstitions ever.
But you want to
like,
if the
come
team
on.
thinks that it matters, you don't touch it.
So what does it matter? Like you touched a trophy. Ooh, you're not going to win the big one.
Yes.
Come on.
Like I'm trying to like
You're talking to someone who's very superstitious over here.
you're very superstitious.
I can be very superstitious, and it's one of those. I understand it seems stupid, but does it? Like
Yeah, it sounds
So, like, okay,
ridiculous.
But
so-
it does. But it works
So tell me
in my mind. If I do something and they keep winning, it's working. If
So
I
a
don't
baseball
do it,
team They get first place. They party like it's 1999, and then they move on and they win the whole thing. They win the World Series. Doesn't matter to them.
Yeah, but this is a different sport, different things.
Oh, get out of here.
Oh,
it's all
save
athletic.
If I go
it.
Yeah,
back to
get
when my
outta
Ravens
here.
won their last Super Bowl, I had a party, and all thing was well, and then someone opened up a window, and then the Ravens started losing it,
oh my
and then I
God.
closed the window,
Oh
and
my
they
God.
won. When that window was open, they didn't
Oh
play
my
well.
God.
When it was closed, they played fantastic, and we won a Super Bowl. And I have great memories of us winning a Super Bowl.
Okay, so but then like
That's just sickening.
okay, yeah.
Sickening.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Sickening.
It doesn't make sense. It shouldn't matter. It doesn't matter. But in the end, it did matter.
Well, no.
In my
but-
mind, it did.
But
If I left that window open and they lose, then it's the window's fault.
So, but then you're giving no power to your team. You're giving no ability for your team to hold their destiny and fulfill their destiny.
Their destinies don't touch the thing. Then, if that's what they believe, that's how you messed with your own destiny.
That's okay. That's fine. Your superstition is
saying-
insane.
I'm
It
saying
is
that-
absolutely insane.
what I'm saying is it's up to the players whether they're superstitious or not on it.
Yeah, 100%. And I think Connor
I don't
won't
care.
touch it.
It's
I
not
think
my
Connor won't touch it.
superstitious or superstition. It's not mine. But if the players don't touch it, they believe in it, and I stand behind them.
You're
Out of
starting
that
to see
insanity.
more and more teams start to touch it though, because they're like, guys,
Yeah,
this
so
is
follow the
this
leader
is
now?
stupid.
Well, it's almost like reverse, right?
Yeah.
Like now it's at the point where it's like it might be bad luck to not touch it.
Yeah.
See, so we're going with the bad luck thing here. What's the difference?
Well,
Well,
it's ridiculous, Matt.
But is
It's
it?
Matthew.
But
It's
is it?
ridiculous.
But Sidney Crosby's known for his superstitious abilities,
Did
and he's
he-
one of the
he
best
touched a
players
cup
ever.
one
And he's
time?
one of the best players ever.
He touched it one time.
Yeah,
did
but
he not?
he does the same thing day in and day out until it doesn't work. Why does the tape, the process of putting the tape on matter? It matters to one of the greatest players ever. If it's good enough for Sidney, it's good enough for Matt.
By the way, we have to get a new song. What are your thoughts on Alanis Morissette?
A new song for what?
Yeah.
A new
that's
song
just
for the show. Isn't it Iwanyk?
Yes. Yes.
Isn't
That is
it Iwanyk?
great. Yeah.
Don't you think?
Get the boys to
Yeah.
get that one
Yes.
recorded.
Zach to come put that on.
Yeah.
I do have a special song coming for my Edmonton Elks Green and Gold kickoff and post game shows that is being done by a local musician.
Is it Iwanyk?
I'm not making it. No.
Zach to come put that song on. I want to hear it coming through the doors right now. Alanis Morissette. I know you don't know who she is, and I know you can hear me because it's on the TV in the background.
I could just play
Jagged
it right
Little
now.
Pill. One of the greatest albums of our time.
Exactly.
Zach,
on,
Alanis
Zach, to come.
Morissette.
isn't it Iwanyk? Don't you think? Like they
I can't put it that close, I don't think, for the YouTube.
It's all good. I already threw an F-bomb in there.
And all
This is the perfect song for you.
turns 98.
So we're gonna start the hangout with this every day.
Yes.
We got to just get to
Yes.
the chorus.
We're gonna go 350 of this. You want to get to the chorus? Oh, well, no, we got to go here.
In your Chardonnay, it's a death row pardon. 2 minutes too late.
This is absolutely perfect.
Isn't it Iwanyk?
Oh, I kind of about to.
No.
Oh, I can just sing it.
Yeah, there we go. She was great. She was at the top for such a period of
Oh
time.
God, I loved that album
is
so
what-
much,
Taylor-
top to bottom,
Taylor
over and
Hawkins
over.
was her drummer, which was ridiculous.
Oh wow, I didn't know
Yes,
that actually.
before he went to the Foos or something like that, he was
Really?
her drummer.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, she was incredible.
was-
One of
she
our
was a
Canadian
star.
stars.
I guarantee, I'm going to guess Zach and Trev have no idea who that is.
No idea.
Not a clue. No.
I will go with that one right
Which is like, you know what? Too bad
It's
for
sad.
them. Yeah.
Who do
They
you think
didn't
has a
get to,
better
like, live
better
through
chance
that.
of knowing though?
now. Zach.
Zach has a better chance.
Zach likes his music. He's a big, he's a rocker. He likes that stuff. So maybe there's that connection through the rock to get to like maybe Taylor Hawkins and stuff. I would say Zach would be the better one for me over YouTube Trev.
I feel like they've all heard Alanis songs. They just had no
No
idea it was
chance.
a
No
Alanis
chance.
you don't
song.
think they've heard
Not a
Alanis?
chance.
They would have there had to be like a 90s playlist that they were listening to at some point or was thrown on at some party and they
No
heard
chance.
Alanis Morissette.
Nope. Trev's from Black Diamond. Turner Valley.
Yeah,
There's
but
no
like-
chance he heard that.
Well, I think that would actually increase. Well, no, he's probably listening to a lot of country, hey?
Yeah.
Zach
Yeah, okay, fair.
Yeah.
and Trev. I'll text them right now. Either of you two know Alanis more? I always the spelling. I gotta make sure I got the spelling right.
Double R, double S?
No double R.
No, just one R?
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, that's really.
Okay, we'll see if either of them know Alanis Morissette. We'll see. Zach, Trev, be by your phone. I guess I could just yell overall everything.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need to yell the whole thing. Yeah, her songs were fantastic. So.
And the stories behind them. Like, wasn't it like Ryan Reynolds was one of them?
No double R. Never mind. I was going back to my.
Oh, okay.
But there's got to be a connection with Ryan Reynolds, wasn't there?
Yeah, because she dated him.
Oh, did she really?
Was it Ryan
Yeah,
Reynolds?
I'm
or was it
pretty
Gosling? I always get those two confused.
There's no confusion. Ryan Gosling is the elite. Ryan Reynolds is also
Okay,
great.
hold up. Elite in what way? Like looks?
Everything about. Oh my god.
More than Reynolds.
Oh my god.
Seriously.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I cannot. Yeah, no, it's not even in comparison for me. Like, it's Ryan
I
Gosling
can't get
all
past
day
Ryan
long,
Gosling being on Breaker High.
and he
Yeah,
was
that's kind
so
of
hot
where I
on
lose
that.
it for a lot of these guys. It's like Drake on
Degrassi.
Degrassi.
Okay, well, I'm Team Kendrick anyways.
The new
so
generation.
But like Breaker High was.
Are you Team Kendrick?
yeah, I'm not a Drake fan. I never have been a Drake fan.
Do you think that
I
they
will
just
say
roped in
Family
the
Matters
whole-
is a good song, but he got destroyed by Kendrick.
Do you think they just roped in the whole rap world and they're actually like right now high-fiving on a beach somewhere, being like, man, we just crushed everybody?
No, because Drake's in a lot of trouble for some of this.
A minor.
Like the idea
Yeah,
that it was
wild.
like
That's such
That
a
was
good line.
wild, yeah.
that accusation gets his way and then immediately throws out a name and everyone's like, no one said a name. Like
Man.
it's not a good.
That
It was
stuff is
Ryan
wild.
Reynolds.
If we're talking about the only person that's really in trouble from the entire rap world, not only person, but it's Diddy.
Oh yeah,
well, 50
no,
Cent
that's the
just
worst
sold
person in the
to
world.
Netflix, I think, a movie about it all.
Man, if
I
you
didn't
ever-
realize how much 50 Cent hates Diddy.
If you ever go down the rabbit hole
Good.
of this Diddy thing, it is outrageous.
Well, yeah, I don't even know if I can because like there's so much of that right now that it just is so hard to just keep stomaching what these people are doing, and I don't know. Like, it's like the Harrison Butker speech. I couldn't listen to it all. I just
didn't even- I
can't.
didn't even
can't.
listen to that one.
I listened to parts of it and I was like, I can't. I am so sick of hearing and dealing mentally with what these men are doing.
It was a bold speech from him because I think he used the Taylor Swift quote prior, which if there is the ultimate businesswoman out there, it's Taylor Swift.
Well,
Like if there is a perfect example of a woman whose life isn't just about I will be home and have kids and that's my life.
Travis is following her around.
It's probably T Swift, and you just used her quote.
Yeah.
And then you're also telling a group of women who in the States education is so expensive. They've got so many student debts, and it's like your life doesn't matter until you have kids and are married and staying home. Like
He got a standing ovation though. I saw a girl who was in the
Yeah.
crowd and she does not believe
Yeah.
that way, and her and her friends tried to boo, but he got a standing ovation, and I don't know if that's just people
think
being
this-
incredibly uncomfortable or
I think the school came back out and said something. I
the
haven't
nuns
listened-
of the school.
The nuns of the school?
Because it's is it a Catholic school or is
yeah,
it,
very
so, yeah.
very
Yeah.
conservative Catholic.
But it's the
yes.
nuns came out against it.
Yeah.
They're the nuns of the school.
Because I haven't listened to the
Because
whole speech. I've
there's
heard
not-
bits
it's not
and
worth
pieces
it.
of it, but
It's not worth
yeah.
it. It's
Come on, Harrison.
it will be very interesting. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I'll be very intrigued to see just like he's only a kicker, but
He ain't going nowhere.
not
Well,
going anywhere. No, but what happens in a football is another player do something.
Well,
If
it's
they get
gonna,
a shot at a free shot at Harrison Butker, they're gonna go do that because
No.
because of,
If there was a free shot at Harrison Butker anyway, they were taking that shot. It's not changing.
fair enough.
well, and I mean, I love the Pat Mahomes on McAfee show, and like everybody on TikTok and Instagram and stuff is like, Pat tried to warn us, and he's like, I don't talk to Harrison. We sit next to each other in the special teams meetings. We don't talk.
Yeah, it's
And
like
it was like, oh,
Peyton
That makes
Manning.
sense. Now it makes sense.
Peyton Manning would be like, yeah, we're talking about my idiot kicker. Yeah, well, there you go. Nothing's
Alanis
changing.
Morissette dated comedian Dave Coulier.
Oh,
And then,
there it is.
Well, I've got a
There
whole
we go.
text chain that has come from that. Morissette met actor Ryan Reynolds. They dated. They were engaged in 2004.
He cheated on her.
But then they ended their engagement. Did he cheat on her?
Well, I think so because I think
It's
that's
not on
that
the Wikipedia.
like that's like the one song. I can't remember what the name of the song is, but it's like like scratching down your back. I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's supposedly about one of the guys. So it might be Coulier or it might be Ryan Reynolds.
So then our text thing. So I texted the boys. Zach, Trev, either of you two know Alanis Morissette. Zach says, heard her name before, but I couldn't tell you what song she's made. Trev goes, familiar with some of her bigger songs, not all, though, obviously. And then Gazzola jumped in. You ought to know. He went with the full, like, you ought to know.
Yeah.
Jay Milne, isn't it ironic? Don't you think? And then Dusty, it's like rain. So they're just now going with the full,
Oh my gosh.
the lyrics.
But
And
it's
then
not. It's no longer
Oh, boy.
ironic. It's Iwanyk.
And then Trav, though, I got one hand in my pocket. The other one is holding a 6 o'clocker lager.
One hand in my pocket,
And
and the other one's holding a 6 o'clock lager. Unreal.
We're just going to play Alanis Morissette maybe for the rest of the day here at EST.
Yeah, you might as well.
It could be a solid education for the young bucks.
Teach them a few things.
Yeah.
You should like really bust out a few of those songs from the 80s as well and just get
Which
this
ones?
whole thing. Like, I don't know.
The
pick
80s
one.
is before me. What does
Really?
that look for?
You don't know any of the 80s songs?
I do, but where are
you
we
know
going
a
with the
few.
80s? Like,
I don't know,
I think
just
of
Pick
like
the 5 best songs, put them on,
But
but
I
like, this
think
is
of,
what
like,
music used to be
that
instead of this mumble
that glam
nonsense
rock.
now.
I think of like Motley Crue and that type of stuff. That to me is 80s. That
bring that,
rock
bring
is
that
80s.
smoke too.
I would think they would know Motley Crue and stuff like that.
And these guys, their balls haven't even dropped yet.
If we need to go through if we need to go through a musical
Okay.
education, I think like we got to go back and start with like Beatles and Zap.
Well, let's do the full thing. Let's do
And
a full
like
rundown.
slowly
for these
work our way
these young
through it
guys.
and get them to
Could
and
be
then
a fun little
This is
afternoon.
right.
and then
Great
they,
Two
afternoon.
hoots.
they could
Yeah.
teach us about the current music.
Do you really want to know about the current music?
I don't mind some current music.
I like some of it.
I'm into a guilty pleasure right now. One
Ooh, what's that?
Olivia Rodrigo, actually.
Oh, boy.
Loving her
I love
music.
that you look so nervous to say that out loud.
Like, don't judge me, don't judge me, don't
It's a full
judge me.
judgment. I don't know. Her songs are really good.
I don't think I've listened to any of them. So
I heard some things on TikTok. I've listened to a few of them. They're not bad. Her last album, what is it, Guts? There's some really good songs on that one. Not gonna lie. That's my guilty pleasure right now.
okay,
Nice,
well I'll
okay.
give it a
Good for you.
shot.
But so
I'm
there's
not
a
gonna
lot
not
of
try.
good young music out there, like newer music that I don't know.
Do you want to know what's interesting? There's one song and it's like it's on the Scotiabank commercials, and it's like a TikTok trend right now. It's Bronski Beat, and it's called Small Town Boy. Hold on. Bronski Beat, and it's you'll know the beat when you hear it because it's on all the Well, I shouldn't have played it. But anyways, you should play that one because everybody will recognize it from the Scotiabank commercials. I've said that so many times. Scotiabank is also my bank.
Did you get any sort of deals with them? Any specials?
Absolutely
She's gonna go
not.
bring the Hangout
Yeah.
back.
I owe them a
Exactly,
lot
right?
of money.
This is the one I have.
Oh,
Like, you
that is amazing.
But then they're gonna hear your
great
earlier
bank, by the way. Great bank.
Great commercial, great, even better bank.
Are they gonna want to be endorsed? Or have the endorsement?
I don't know. I like
Based on this whole episode and whatever.
give me,
I don't
like,
think any business wants to be a part of what we've kind of gone with on this show.
1.5% less on my mortgage rate, please. That's all I ask.
No
That's
kidding.
not too much to ask,
No
is it?
kidding.
Give it another year or so.
I can't. Okay.
No, I know it's they're
Whatever,
high, but
anyways.
they'll eventually start coming
This
down.
is not a road we should go down.
We should do a keyword because we got to qualify someone for the
Oh,
Great
yeah,
Outdoors
okay.
Comedy Festival, July 12th through the 14th, Kingsman Park. We want to qualify someone for the Andrew Schell Shane Gillis sold out night on the Friday. It's a VIP table of 4. You got like a QR code on your table. You can order your drinks and food, and they come right
It's
to you.
awesome,
You don't
yeah.
have to go. Have you gone to?
Yeah,
These-
I went the first year that they did it.
So that would have
like
been at
when it
Northlands,
was
or in like the
yes.
in the
racetrack,
yeah.
in the old racetrack. Yeah. So it was like, what a great concept. And it's absolutely blown up. It is really cool.
They've expanded to the States.
Yeah.
They've got one state show.
Yeah, Mike has
Spokane.
a lot of interest from the U.S. and we just need more people from Edmonton to go to these shows. And
Trickstars puts this on.
Trickstar,
It's a
yeah.
local company, and they do They put on all
And
the big events
they
and stuff.
have
They
a
do
lot of
BBJ, I think.
sustainability efforts as well. Like there's social sustainability. They're giving back to the community. And there's also environmental sustainability. They're working towards an accreditation. So like they're doing a lot of good things for, as you can tell, I know this through work, but yeah, they're doing a lot of good things for the city and to build their festival to make it sustainable and both environmentally, financially, and socially.
Don Ellis, friend of EST. So Cree Tuesdays and Morissette Wednesdays. Isn't it Iwanyk? Yeah, well done, Don. 780-218-9999 if you want to get into this draw for the VIP table. We're going to give it away on Friday. So only a couple more days of qualifying for this show. Text us, Ironic, to 780-218-9999. And you'll go into a draw. What?
Did you just make that up now?
Yeah, we don't have to list the keywords for this one.
Oh, my.
Unlike the last one. This is just,
Good.
we can do it wherever we go. So I tie it into the show.
Oh, well
so
done,
ironic.
sir.
780-218-9999, Paris Jewelers inbox, and you'll go into a draw. I'll be in touch with someone, and we'll give that away Friday on our morning show. This is the EST Angle presented by Two Hoots Hard Ice Tea, a Boulder Real Brew Tea. Don't just give a hoot, give two. Live on EdmontonSportsTalk.com, tune in, iHeartRadio, as well as those watching on YouTube. Matt Iwanyk, Quinn Phillips, Shawn Belle with you here. Do you have any idea what's coming up on Hello Hockey on Saturday, by the way? Besides
No.
Dave Pagnata?
No, I haven't even
Talking
talked about
conference
it.
finals.
Yeah.
He's
We'll
just
probably
trying
start
to
that one. Yeah, I'm just trying to
recover.
like recover from Vegas, and then I'll
But
probably
you got back on Sunday.
I'll probably
It's
bounce
Wednesday.
back. Man, there was a lot of booze.
Yeah, but you're
There was an
you're not
ungodly
even
amount.
40.
I know.
2 days.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
it's day,
42.
we're on to day 3.
Man up here, man.
You know damn well that in your 30s things change.
Yeah,
and
but-
when you have that much booze, it takes a few days to reprogram. Plus,
That's an
the
excuse.
food
That's all I'm
poisoning
hearing.
also had to correct itself.
I'm just hearing a lot of excuses from over there.
Oh, well, here we are.
What did you do the last 2 days?
Slept.
Yes, you should be
Played
fine.
with my
48
daughter.
hours. You're good. You should be fine.
Yeah, I'm bouncing back.
Like you had some 2 hoots today.
I did.
You're ready
I
to
did.
go.
I probably
Just
didn't
re-inject
I
some more
just
booze
here,
back in.
Get booze back into my life. I probably didn't need it.
But it was delicious.
It was delicious.
It's so good. You
Yeah.
can't say no.
See, and you have never even had it before
I've never
today.
had it,
Yeah.
and now I'm like dialed.
Yeah.
Give me the 2 hoots.
That's our box. You can't have it.
Okay.
Because I only have one more after that. You just have to come on the hangout again. Well, they'll send us more if we want, probably.
I think
Okay.
you probably should get a few more boxes, Maddie.
We'll
Yeah.
need some more. Well, especially when it really, like, we haven't hiked the good weather yet. When it's plus 25 or higher,
Oh boy.
that's going to be so nice at
I have
night
a
in the morning.
rooftop patio at my building. I'm gonna be up there with some 2 hoots. Whew.
I
Look
love it.
out.
Looking
day.
at
Just
Lauren's
a box,
stories.
yeah.
Trying
Watching
to get all the
Lauren,
deets,
Trying to
figuring
see
out-
in the background who is the guys that are trying on their suits.
Is there a contract anywhere for Leon? Did he leave that somewhere? Is that there?
Oh
just
yeah.
lurking?
I see a piece of paper back there. I gotta zoom in.
Do you guys want to do Oilers predictions? Do you guys
Yeah.
do predictions?
Nope, I'm not doing all those predictions today.
Well, I picked the Rangers in the East. I bet on
did
the
I.
Rangers.
Yeah. I picked
Yeah.
them
Who
in,
aren't
I
the
picked them in
favorite at
7.
all.
No, I know.
It's like
They're-
they are
Tommy said
the
it
most disrespected
Yeah.
President's Trophy team ever.
It's absolutely
probably.
crazy.
Well, the President's Trophy is a curse.
But you were the best team in hockey. And
It's also
going
a curse,
into this
though.
series, yeah, but I thought these things don't matter.
He's such a get out of here, man.
So
Get outta here
the
with that
Rangers
nonsense.
plus 125 to win their series against the Panthers.
Yeah, I already bet on them.
They also are the worst odds to win the Stanley Cup of what the 4 teams remaining at plus 350.
That is absolutely no respect. You are correct
That's
there.
like zero respect giving to and,
Yeah.
and last round they were not the favorite to win their series against the Hurricanes.
It's insane.
And
I
then the
don't-
President's
I don't-
Trophy winning
I
team.
don't understand why they get so much hatred.
I wish I had an answer. But you guys both think the Rangers will come out.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got him in 7.
I'll go 6.
No,
I just also bet on them. So because I'm a
You're
big
fully
better
in.
now.
Ever since Dusty came on the Bits podcast.
And if you
learned.
missed the episode, you can find it because it'll teach you how to bet. And then you just also got to get in there, and learn some things. And I always go with the EST parlay.
Stay cool, bet responsibly.
Stay cool, bet responsibly.
Jay Milne, VR Montenegro, and a couple of others. I watched them move a line. On Friday, we're talking Elks over-unders on the season. It's 6.5 over-under wins this year. And we're like, they're going to get 7 or more. and it was minus 110, I think it was at the time, or minus 115. And Jay made his bet right there on the show. VR Montenegro, one of our listeners, showed me that night his bet. A couple of others made their bets. It immediately moved to one. It's right now 133.
Minus 133?
Yeah, so it got worse because those guys put their money on it. They changed the line. So.
Well, now I don't want to pick that. I never pick a minus. I've never picked a minus yet.
There's value in it. The Elks?
Yeah.
What's good? Define good.
I don't know.
What do you want? Like, is it playoffs? Is it?
No, they're not going to make the playoffs.
Okay, so but like, what is good to you? Like, if you describe that,
how many wins did they have last year?
4.
5.
Oh, they're better than that.
Okay, that's all.
They're a better team than last year.
Okay, and they'll win a home game or two.
They should.
Home game last year.
Yeah, they won last year. Right?
They should.
Yeah, like
I'll go that far. But
I want to make sure to. I want to go to more games.
July 8th.
But it's I'm not doing July 8th, and then
June
8th. Sorry.
8th. Yeah.
I was like,
yeah, no, July.
That's a late start. I want to go to more games, but at the same time, when they're just getting kicked every single night, like it sucks in the
There's
stadium.
nothing like the home opener.
I am going to the home opener, and it's against the Riders.
You don't know. Yeah, you don't know. I don't know if they're regular. I really like the Riders. I like what they've done, but you never know if it's gonna work with a new coach and all their changes they made to their roster. You just never know. And so that's going to be a fascinating game.
Yes,
but the Elks should be a better team this year.
Okay.
The good news is if they're not, there's going to be some major changes coming to the franchise in many ways that hopefully will set it on the right track, which includes ownership.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with that.
I think a coaching change is probably
I don't.
necessary.
There's a good chance that no matter what happens this year, there is a coaching change at the end of this year because if new owners come in, you never know.
They get to pick their.
Chris Jones might have a better season this year. He might go 6-7 wins, but a new ownership might come and go. We don't
good
like
for
Chris
the
Jones.
organization.
I was a big Chris Jones fan up until he signed McLeod Bethel Thompson. That's when it changed.
Oh,
I was a huge Chris Jones fan.
really?
He's a great defensive mind. Haven't seen in Edmonton this time though. Haven't seen in Edmonton.
Do you think? Well, is that partly because he has too much responsibility right now?
But now he's a DC. So he's got a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
So he's taken that off his plate to a degree. How much, truthfully, I don't know.
He's going to micromanage
But
that.
the GM,
like a figurehead
the
anyway.
GM part of Chris Jones, I haven't liked that as in his tenure in Edmonton. And finally now that McLeod Bethel Thompson signing, nothing against MBT. He's talked to him at Fan Day, great guy, loved head on his shoulders. I just don't like a lot of the ramifications from
he
it.
doesn't like Ford.
Doesn't seem that way. Chris Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, McLeod Bethel Thompson, he was talking on Saturday about how he's here to also help develop Trey Ford. It was great hearing that. You don't generally get that from a starting quarterback talking about the backup and like, I'm here to help him grow. He's saying that, and I don't think he's being told that by Chris Jones. Because I don't think Chris Jones is a big Trey Ford guy.
No.
So,
which is kind of crazy because this kid did a pretty good job last year when he came in.
Yeah, well, Chris Jones has never gotten right with quarterback as a GM.
There you go.
Saskatchewan or Edmonton, he's never gotten it right. June 8th, Green and Gold kickoff post-game shows. He's never gotten it right.
He's never gotten it right?
With the quarterback in Saskatchewan or Edmonton.
He had Mike
As
Riley.
the GM. He wasn't the GM. That was Ed Hervey.
Oh, okay. That's what
As
you're
a
talking
GM.
about.
As a GM, he's never gotten it right.
Good. I was like, are we going to go down this path of you thinking that Mike Riley
That was Ed Hervey.
okay.
No, that was Ed.
As GM.
When he
okay,
went to
you
Saskatchewan,
missed
he
that
didn't
disclaimer.
He didn't. Well, we're talking about the GM part of that. Like 30
sorry,
seconds before I said I'm not a fan of him as a GM. So the conversation continued from there.
Okay. I'm embarrassed.
This was a weird hangout, but it was a great hangout. I really enjoyed it. We had
5 stars.
We had somebody text us from Texas, actually, how much they enjoyed this hangout at the beginning, going like, "There's not a lot of sports, but this is great. Quinn, you're awesome." So we had some wonderful stories with that one. Coming up next, it is the Lock Shop. Huss and Dusty. Probably some golf picks today because it is Wednesday. And then at noon, it is the Oil Stream. Tommy down at the Oilers practice before they fly out to Dallas today. He'll have all the updates from what happened there. Quinn, Shawn, it's great having you guys in today.
Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure.
This was the EST Hangout presented by Two Hoots. Thanks for tuning in here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Like I said, Lock Shop coming up next here on EST, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Don't go anywhere. That's going to get started in just a few minutes.
Let's go. There you go, right in front of the camera.
First-time guest, long-time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Zola with here. Joining us today